Here we go. Sorry. There we go. Whoops. Setting buttons. I was saying stuff. I was saying so many things. What was I saying? I thanked Jericho for the $2 tip. And I said, you've been very generous today. I need to shut this door here, too. Husbanus is watching anime. He's watching anime upstairs. What a nerd. What an otaku. Oh. Who watches anime? What a... No, I love him. I love him. Start the stream over. We missed everything. Is it ever a Nyena's stream if it starts off, buttery smooth? You guys are here for the scuff. I liked it better on mute. Yeah, you enjoy the snow. Oh, man. I was out there cleaning my balcony yesterday, just getting the mildew off of things. It was so hot. I had to keep going inside to keep from getting a sunburn. Oh, life is difficult in Florida. No, it's Gundam. It's Gundam. Oh, shoot. Let me get my TTS going here. Son of a bitch. What was I? Oh, yeah. Wake up, Biden. Wake up, Biden. The one with the schoolgirls and the teachers with the tentacles. No! What are you even? You're banned. You're banned. Here we go. Gotta put in some details on the back here. Boop. Get. I always forget to get this going. I made myself a drink. Sleepy Joe is sleeping. Yeah, give him a minute. He gets up. He gets up eventually. Was it Bible Black? Wait a second. Banned! What are we talking about? Rise. I live in coastal Georgia and I know how you feel. Yeah. It's been snowing. I mean, frickin' Gundam was working on that. It's a Gundam guy. He's just a piece of crap. But he's been working on getting his snowblower going and he thought it was dead. And I was like, change the spark plugs. And it was the plugs. It started running again. Sometimes you can just clean the spark plugs off of a snowblower and it starts up again. They just get dirty. They get dirty because like snowblowers run so like short of a time, and I don't know, just something with those small engines. If you leave gas in it while it sits for the year, it just gets gunked up. Gets gunked up. He was thinking he had to buy one, and he was talking about getting an electric one. Remember I was talking about that? I couldn't believe it. Who gets an electric snowblower? That's weird. But anyways, Joe Cornpoop is here.
Jericho Graham
There he
28.
is.
Jericho
Donated
Graham
$2.0.
28.
Donated
It says perfect
$2.0.
and says perfect timing.
Heck. Perfect timing. Excellent. Excellent timing. What should we watch today? Should we watch more Financial Audit or should we watch the documentary? We were on episode 2 of the Chris Chan saga, or option 3 is a third thing. Whatever the third thing. Hey Tiff, how's it going? You banned. He's watching, no, but yeah, Husbanus is watching Gundam upstairs and he's just like, I don't know, doing his stuff, Husbanus stuff. What up? Thanks for popping into my Fortnite stream earlier. It means a lot. I had a blast. I'm so sorry that I missed that. But yeah, I hope you're making use of the Discord. I have like a promotion tab and stuff. You can promote yourself. I'm not like and you can even promote yourself in my chat. I don't really care. Like, I don't know. Like, I know it's my channel and stuff, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't really care. It's the internet. If you want to do it, I don't really care. If you do it in a way that's like not obnoxious and you're not spamming and you're just like letting it be known that you're a streamer, like I could really care less. You can go ahead and do that. Always welcome. Always welcome to do that. He's watching Tits of Gundam. Yeah, he's watching O's. Which one was he watching again? I forget. I was cleaning the kitchen. I was like hardly paying attention. First I was cooking, then I was cleaning. YouTube actually sent me a notification for, I think, literally the first time. Wow. Play ordinary sausage. What is even that? What is even that? What is ordinary sausage? I'm so boomer. Like, what the hell? What the hell is even that? Just installed and tried out a mic for recording my audio for a potential channel that I'm starting. I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing either. I just kind of wing it. Sometimes I'm streaming art now, and you know, I'm shocked how many people still show up, even though like I'm slowly putzing away on something stupid. You know, like man, you guys hanging out. Hanging out. Now what am I searching here? What was it? Ordinary sausage. What? He's like a food channel. A food channel. Is that what this is? He's making food? Did I find the right one? Am I? Water sausage? It's a hangout? Help. What about Fat Electrician? I liked his. That was good stuff. Very good insights. I liked he didn't really drag it on too. I felt like every time he was saying things, it was worthwhile information. Yeah, that guy makes sausages. I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. Boo boo. What was... We were watching a pretty crazy cop video the other day. But I watch those all the time. You watched Fat Electrician with your kids. How old are your kids? Bass Pro Shop. Bass Pro Shop. What? Mayonnaise, it's good for you. I love mayonnaise. For the longest time,
Nothing is normal. Absolutely.
Husbanus did not like mayonnaise. And I would always be having mayonnaise with my stuff. And even too, when I make grilled cheese, I put mayonnaise on the bread, like, because it makes it crispier. You know, I put a little bit of butter there too, but I also put mayonnaise. It really crisps the edges and like it gives it like a really wonderful texture. And, you know, he was just a mayonnaise hater the whole time. He called me white and everything. And then one day I saw him like putting mayonnaise on his sandwich. And then he was even dipping bites of his sandwich into the mayonnaise. And I was like, ah! I just like, just one of the times that I had gone to Canada or something, there was like no more mustard left in the fridge. And he just like switched to the mayonnaise because it's like what I did. I can't really remember the lore, but he basically just started trying mayonnaise. And he liked it so much that he had to go and he got like 2 containers of mayonnaise. And he apparently had already gone through 1 container of mayonnaise before I had gotten back. Because he had just been slamming it. Insanity. Insanity. Talking about mayonnaise. It's changed his life. He was sleeping on mayonnaise for like 30 years of his fucking life. It's like, that's pretty crazy to think about. Cook him some artichokes and have him dip those in mayonnaise. Oh, hell yeah. That is really good. Using mayonnaise is easier than using butter on grilled cheese. I just like the texture. Then I put it on like a low heat, you know, for just a longer amount of time and flip it once. I have Now I think he has tried his French fries and mayonnaise now too. Because we usually get the spiced French fries. Like, you just get them in the frozen aisle. We usually get those if we get French fries. So they're really good in the mayonnaise. Damn, bro was slamming mayo. He was! No homo. But he was slamming that mayonnaise. But yeah. Let me find the thing. Boom. It's a boom. And then I'll put it somewhere. All right. Let's just wrap this up. I'm so close to finishing this. Like, I can't believe. I guess I didn't like the way it animated, and there's things I don't, but I mean, it's fine. It's a $40 commission. I gotta stop. It plays at a small, tiny size. Wishwa, wishya. Shut up, brain. Anyways, let's get the video playing.
Nothing. Every time I start a video, I was like, this is a cool company. I'm sure completely normal things are happening there. Never happens, okay? Started working on a Cabela's video, found out that they're actually owned by Bass Pro Shop. Okay, I'm gonna do a Bass Pro Shop video. And now there's Indian spiritual leaders and crystal skulls and pyramids and curses involved.
Wait a second.
And I don't even know what's going on.
Wait a second.
Today we're talking about the most American thing that has ever happened. That time that we took the world's 7th largest pyramid and turned it into a Bass Pro Shops. Okay, and just so we're all on the same page, it is not the simple fact that America...
Wait, that was actually a pyramid before it was a Bass Pro Shops? I thought they just, like, built a pyramid-shaped Bass Pro Shops.
Turned the world's 7th largest pyramid into a bait and tackle shop that's the most American thing ever. No, the most American thing is the story of how it happened, because it reads like a redneck Indiana Jones script, and it's absolutely insane, but we're gonna get to it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me.
Why are you dressed like that? Why do you have a Tech 9?
I'm going to the farmer's market.
Okay, that explains the outfit. Explain the Tech 9.
Muriel's getting on my turf again.
You look like you're gonna go do a drive-by in a carriage. All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money if you're not, so one, and then information. Basically, your things are about to get weird. Alex Jones may or may not be involved. Down below, let's get back to the video. All right, buckle up. Things are about to get weird. Alex Jones may or may not be involved. Regardless, our story begins in 1948 when Johnny Morris, the founder of Bass Pro Shops, is born. He grows up as the son of a World War II veteran that after coming back home from the war, opens up a liquor store. That goes well, so he opens up another liquor store soon.
Hell yeah.
He's got an entire chain of regional liquor stores called Brown Derby. Why on earth
Hell
did they
yeah.
call it that? I have no idea. So then why did I bring it up? Because it kind of sounds like a gay bar, and I think that's funny. Moving on. So Johnny spends his childhood growing up in Springfield, Missouri. His dad owns a chain of liquor stores in the Midwest. There's absolutely no way that guy's not making a ton of money. There's literally nothing to do in the Midwest other than drink and figure eight race, which, if we're being honest, is just racing with an intersection while you're half drunk anyways.
Hell yeah.
So Johnny presumably has a pretty good childhood because his dad is taking him on
Dude,
all
that
these
reminds me, someone took out my fucking blue box today. My blue box. It got fucking slammed. Aw. Broke my heart. I mean, I can just call in and get another one. They just give you those things for free. But still, man, the hell? What software does Nyanus use? This is Toon Boom Harmony. This is Toon Boom Harmony.
Trips, he's going bass fishing out at Lake of the Ozarks, and he ends up becoming this huge outdoors guy. He goes off to college where he, and I quote, majored in fishing.
You can do that?
Comes back home from college, doesn't
Majored
really
in
know what he wants to
fishing.
do, but he does know it's a humongous pain in the ass to find good fishing equipment because remember, this is like the 1970s. There is no Amazon. You can't get on the internet and buy all the fishing stuff, okay? Bass Pro Shops doesn't exist yet. You got to know a guy that knows a guy that's making lures in his basement if you want to get good
Shit.
fishing tackle. So Johnny, fresh home from college where he just learned the laws of supply and demand, there's a huge demand for fishing stuff and there's a very low supply of it, figures he's going to fill that gap and he's probably going to make some money doing it. So he takes out a $10,000 loan, rents a U-Haul, travels the entire United States making connections with local bait and tackle shops and buying up all of their inventory, and then brings
Fuck
it back
yeah.
to Springfield, Missouri, and starts Bass Pro Shops in the back of one of his dad's liquor stores. Now remember what I said.
So
there is no
American. It's so American. You're right. You said the thing. It's true.
Amazon. You can't get online and order all your fancy bass fishing equipment. You got to know a guy that knows a guy, and pretty soon Johnny Morris becomes that guy. His phone number is getting passed around the fishing community like wildfire The next
Yes.
thing he knows, he's getting phone calls from other states all over the country, placing orders, and then he's mailing stuff to people. This goes on for about 2 years, and then
Wait, who recommended this again? Thank you. This one's I actually legitimately enjoying. I'm enjoying this one. I am enjoying this one. Is this that Tectone dude? No, this isn't Tectone. This is a fat electrician. Who is this yapper for? This is another one for fuck, I know the name. I know the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. Ah. He also got the yapper that was the dog. Oh my god, I know his fucking name, and I don't want to look it up. Hell. Heck. Why am I so bad at names? I feel like I'm being disrespectful when I'm bad with names, but it just doesn't stick in my goddamn brain. What is that? It's gonna come to me. What the fuck, Tectone? I'm sorry, that's a new one. Yeah, what? Sorry, I don't know anyone on the internet. I'm sorry, Snoopy. I'm just giving you a hard time because I can. I'm like that too, to be honest. Again, I get names fucked up all the time. And I also learn. I'm learning people's names. For the longest time, I would recognize online creators, but I didn't really know their name. But since I've been doing this for a few months now, I'm starting to learn their names. So, like, you know, repetition is good. Ninus, have I heard about the Elder Scrolls 6 leaks? I have not. I have not. The Fat Electrician is great. He has another channel called The Fat Files. That's amazing. I think we watched a video off of that channel, didn't we? But yeah, I'm sorry, Snoopy Diz. This is a safe place. And I love you. Like, you got the Baron Snoopy. That's, like, the best. That's the best version of Snoopy. I always loved those episodes when he, like, would be flying around on the plane. When I saw that movie that was, like, 3D, and they had a whole section, I literally, when I went in with my friend, and I was like, I even said to her, I was just like, if there's no section with the Red Baron, this isn't a real Peanuts movie. And they did do it. So I was good. I actually really enjoyed that movie, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I go in with an open mind. I don't really care if it's not in the same style. Like, you know, at some point, like, you're never gonna get to enjoy media if you think like that, because things are always going to be changing. At some point, we're gonna be watching movies made with AI. It's already kind of been happening. I think people should just accept it. Don't fight it. Just let it happen, baby. Even though I'm sitting here and doing things by hand, like, I don't know, man. You gotta find your own reason to do things. You know? As much as it sucks. Like, it sucks. I miss my job, I won't lie, but it might come back yet. There's been recessions in the animation industry where there was just nothing being made for a while. No jobs. And then it came back and it boomed. I technically rode the wave when it was booming. So it might just come back, too. I really just like working on a team with people on a show that's going, you know, there's like something, it's not really the same as creating your own content. Like working on a team like that. Really fun, really rewarding. I think there was like some sort of like very good serotonin or dopamine, whatever one it was, boost. Like after and it was every 2 weeks because you were finishing episodes all the time. But the progress that you would see, and sometimes there were some shows where I did board revisions too. So I saw it from the absolute beginning when it was a script, you know, turning it into boards, and then seeing it turn into animation piece by piece until it's all complete. It's just like a really satisfying feeling. And like everyone's like working together like a well-oiled machine. Like when you work on teams like that, it's like then you can see like how things like the pyramids got done because like everyone was on the same page and there was like so many people. Like there was some productions that had so many people. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone comes to work and like no one slacks because there's no time to slack. It's like you got to get some shit done. You got 2 weeks. I don't know. It was such a chaotic but well-organized environment. He has a video about Starbucks and Little Caesars, which are also pretty good.
After that, he realizes he has an enormous catalog of names, addresses, and phone numbers of all the big fishermen all over the United States of America. So he takes a risk,
Hell
he
yeah.
prints out 10,000 Bass Pro Shops catalogs in 1974 and mails them to absolutely
probably so
everybody
expensive.
with all of his products inside. This explodes into a humongous mail order business,
Brilliant.
which is basically the Amazon of its time. And as he continues to grow the business, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start selling fishing boats out of my catalog too. But I'm not just going to sell the boat. I'm going to sell the boat with the motor and the trailer, all
Wow.
for one price, one-stop shop.
You know, even in Canada, there's the odd Bass Pro Shops. None of them were ever really close to my hometown, but they're along the highways, so like you'd inevitably see one or two if you were driving around Toronto. And I love walking through them. Like I've been in them a few times, not a lot, like a handful, but you know, like there's so much fun. It's just like, wow, what a humble beginning. And it's like it's one of the most unique stores to walk through, I would say. They always like theme it up and everything. At least the ones I went to in Canada. It's like you're going into like a wooden log cabin and everything, and it's all very organically placed out. The aisles aren't blocks and squares with, you know, shelves. It's like very, I don't know, very nice layout.
You get everything.
Visual merchandising.
Up until this point, if you wanted to buy a fishing boat, you had to go buy the boat, then you had to go buy the motor, then you had to figure out how to get a fucking trailer. It was a whole day-long event. Now you could just call up Johnny and have the boat delivered to you.
You like
It
his
was
Chuck E.
perfect.
Cheese
His
video?
boats
We'll
end
go
up
there
becoming
later.
the most popular boat in America and the most manufactured boat on the planet. Then in 1980, he realizes, like, you know what? I bet people would really appreciate a place where they could just drive their truck, pick up the boat on the trailer, be able to look
Yeah.
at all the fishing lures, all the stuff I have for sale. I'm going to build an enormous retail place. He builds the world's first Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World. It is 300,000 square feet. There's fish tanks. There's
you fool. Yeah, it's so much fun. I was trying to explain it and doing a dog awful job. That god awful job. My words. Help, please. Oh my god, it's so much fun.
exotic animals stuffed all over the
I love
walls.
shit
It's
like
not
this.
just a store. It's basically like a dead zoo, except the fish are alive. It's basically Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for rednecks, okay? People travel from hours and hours away to make their
Yeah.
pilgrimage to Bass Pro Shops. Okay, I can't stress
One
to
of
you
the
enough
things,
how big
one of the first things I did when I had a car, I went to a Bass Pro Shops and I stopped in because I finally was able to do it. Because a lot of times, my dad just never really liked shopping, and I don't really like shopping either. But he would never want to pull over to go anywhere. You know, if we were doing something, it was like point A to B. I always wanted to go in. And one of the first things I did when I got a car was going to a Bass Pro Shop. So much fun. So much fun.
of a deal the first Bass Pro
Bless
Shops
this
was,
game.
okay?
Man,
To this
this
day,
game,
the Bass
fuck.
Pro Shop in
Help.
Springfield, Missouri is considered
Help,
the
can I get some support? Can I get some support for the silliness? We watching the Fat Electrician? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
largest tourist attraction in the state of Missouri. This one singular store gets over 4 million customers a year, okay? That's like
Wow.
11,000 people a day inside of this
Wow.
bait and tackle shop. Okay, and at this point you're like, wow, that's a lot of people. No, that's a metric fuck ton of people going to buy fishing lures, okay? Disneyland gets 40,000 people a day. You've got 25% the business
Yes.
volume of Disneyland, and all you're doing is selling fishing equipment. Johnny Morris is literally the Walt Disney of rednecks at this point. Buh! How can we keep saying everybody that shops at Bass Pro Shops is a redneck? Buh! Don't do the whole I'm gonna get offended over literally nothing bit, okay? Nobody cares, okay? At the end of the day, there's only two types of outdoor people, okay? There's Patagonia wearing outdoor people, and there's Bass Pro Shop outdoor people, okay? You've got outdoor people that want to save the environment, you've got outdoor people that want to eat the environment, okay? If you are the ones that want to eat the environment, sorry, you're a redneck. That's just how it goes.
I think we offended somebody out here.
That ain't funny as it says.
Anyways, Outdoor World, outrageously successful. So when you find something that works, you keep doing it. So he opens up another one, and another one,
Another one.
and then another one. And next thing you know, he's got over 200 Bass Pro Shops, Outdoor Worlds all over the country. So now at this point, Johnny Morris has
And
built
in
the business
Canada.
out wide, and the only place left to go is up and down. He vertically integrates the entire thing. So Johnny Morris figures, okay, well, who's upstream of me? I'm the middleman. I basically buy shit from a factory. I sell it in my store. I deliver it to the customer. Cool. I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to start buying all the factories that make the shit in my stores. He buys out.
I had no idea. I had no idea. That's crazy. What a fucking genius. Man, and you never hear about this. Like, you know, Elon Musk brags himself up and shit, and like that's how you know he's kind of a fraud. Like, it doesn't hit me the same way. I'm not as impressed. This is very impressive, and like I just feel like I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of this guy. What a fucking genius, though. These are very clever moves he's making, you know? So a lot of these, the first thing when he was shipping out all the product for free, what a fucking gamble. What a gangster. That's scary shit. That's so cool that it like worked out and like this is what happened. I don't know, like I love stories like this. This is like so like, you know, when someone actually works hard and like becomes successful, like that's fucking sick. I love that. There's like still so many good stories out there. I am enjoying this. I don't know, it's so wholesome, isn't it? Like what a wholesome story. He started from nothing. Also too, again, I think that's one of the craziest gambles that he just gave away his current stock like that. He was mailing it out. Very expensive too to mail, even back then, like mailing out in mass, like he's got interest from like was it a couple hundred people and he fucking mailed all that shit out. It also just takes a long time. When I worked, when I did my internship, one of the things I did was like I sent out mail for like some sort of like Christmas thing. And I remember too, I came in and like the owners, like, cause it was a pretty small little graphic design place I was at. And I came in and they were like sorting the mail themselves. And I was like, do you want me to do that? Cause they were like putting labels on it. They had a list. They were putting labels, putting things in envelopes and like little packages and doing them up. And there was definitely like over 100 things to do. And they were like, oh, we didn't want to give you the job because like you're an intern and it just feels like, dude, like people are so worried about being offensive or something. Like they didn't want to give me the job because it seemed too much like an intern job. And I was like,
633 just subscribed with Prime.
hey,
They say Uranus 633 subscribe with Prime.
thank you. Thank you for giving me your Twitch Prime sub. That's fucking sick. So many people came in the other day and gave me one of those that I've now hit the threshold for a Twitch payout this month. That's crazy. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know. What a wholesome little story that he's got going here.
The boat company that makes all these boats, which to this day is still the most popular boat in America and the company that makes the most boats in the world. He buys the company that manufactures the four-wheelers that he sells in his stores. He buys up
Wow.
anything and
I had
everything
no
that he
idea.
can, and then he makes that the Bass Pro brand. And in doing so, his brand is now absolutely everywhere. It's on boats, it's on ATVs, it's on clothing, it's on dining room sets, it's on fishing equipment. It's absolutely everywhere to the point that everybody in America knows that brand. It's one of the most recognizable brands of all time. And in doing so,
Yeah.
it's kind of polarizing, right? There's only two
What?
types of people in regards to Bass Pro Shop. There's people that
Polarizing?
like it and want to shop there, and those people are going to buy his merch and rep the company because they think it's awesome. And then there's people that want to make fun of the people that shop at Bass Pro Shop. And guess what
Seriously?
they're going to do? They're also going to buy his merch to wear it ironically in an attempt to make fun of those people. Either way, Johnny Morris is making money off of both ends selling his merch. It's absolutely brilliant.
Off
Not
of
only
both
is he
ends.
conquering
His front and back end.
his own market, he's figured out a way to monetize the haters as well.
Get those Bezo
Hi, I'm
bucks.
sorry, I didn't see you there. I was
Hit me
too
up with
busy
those
blocking
Bezo
out the
dollars.
haters.
So Johnny Morris has done it. He's vertically integrated everything. Like anything to do with fishing in America, he is inescapable. Like you got to go through this guy if you want to be able to catch fish, essentially. So he's like, okay, well, I need to expand into related markets.
Also, Alex, for you to be saying that you're glad that I'm enjoying this, you're kind of breaking this whole like nemesis vibe we've had going for a bit. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm just letting you know. You're out of character. You're out of character. You're being so nice. All the fat electrician videos are great. His Waffle House one might be your favorite. Oh wow, there's so many good ones apparently. Get that bag, cat lady. Yeah, I need to make a mental note to beg for those once in a while. That's like the guilt-free beg. Just to be like, hey, if you got a Twitch Prime sub and you haven't used it yet this month, can I have it? Thanks. I don't know. That's sick. Obviously, there's other creators too. You know? It's probably good to switch it up. But I appreciate it. Like, I think, how many of you? I didn't even realize that there was so many people that came in. I had, what do they call that shit on Twitch? A hype train? A hype train happened. So many of you showed up. It was crazy.
What's related to fishing? hunting. Most people that fish hunt, vice versa. So there's another company, almost the same exact business model and storyline to him, but it's the hunting version, and that's Cabela's. So he buys Cabela's out for $5 billion and combines the brands together. After acquiring Cabela's, there's only one more company that he's actually competing with, and that's Sportsman's Warehouse. So he goes to buy them out too, and he gets like all the way to the very end. They're about to sign the contract, and Bass Pro Shops is about to own Sportsman's Warehouse, and the government agency, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, has to step in and stop the purchase of Sportsman's Warehouse, because if he buys it, they're going to declare it a legal monopoly. He is not allowed to buy up any more of the competition.
This is the worst.
At this point, Johnny Morris has essentially won capitalism. The government has had to come in and say, no, you're way too good at selling fishing lures. You're not allowed to do this, because then you're literally going to be the only option in the entire country. We've got to stop you. Here's the gold star for winning capitalism. Great work. Enjoy being a billionaire. Have a nice day. So Johnny Morris is like, okay, the government stepped in, not allowed to get any bigger at doing what I'm already doing. So my only other option now is to either just call it a day and retire, or I can expand into a related market. And at that point, he realizes like, okay, I'm going to do tourism. I'm already kind of in tourism already. I have the #1 tourist destination in Missouri, and my other stores are in the top 5 destinations in like 8 other states. So he gets more into tourism. He starts opening up Bass Pro Shop resorts, golf courses. He has a fucking music festival. And then one day, the Memphis Pyramid comes up for sale. And I know what you're thinking. Why the fuck is there a pyramid in Memphis? Great question. Well, in the
Will it still work if you're canceling tomorrow? Yes.
1950s, there was this architect that wanted to make a big ass pyramid. He actually wanted to make 3 pyramids, but it never got that far. He never got around to it in his life, but his son also became an architect. And in the 1980s, he resurrected the idea, got the funding, and built the 7th largest pyramid in the world on the Mississippi River in Memphis. Right out of the gate, the Memphis Pyramid is extremely polarizing. You've got taxpayers that are like, I don't want you to take my tax money and build a giant fucking pyramid. No. And then there's other people that are like, fuck yeah, this is America. Let's build a giant pyramid. And then you've got people coming out of left field like Alex Jones claiming that the people behind it are part of the occult and they're building a secret satanic worship temple or some shit.
Didn't he talk about that on Joe Rogan once?
Into the occult. You can just look up their names. They're all over the local newspapers.
And originally, it was an event center. People were going to have basketball games there, boxing matches. Mike Tyson fought there. They were going to have concerts, all kinds of stuff. So they started building it in 1989. It finally opens up in 1991. And right before the Memphis Pyramid is about to open up, the maintenance crew goes up to the very top, and at the very top, there's a metal box welded at the top of the pyramid. And they're like, what the fuck is that? So they go, they get the project manager, they end up chipping away at this welding. They rip this box down. Inside this metal box is a smaller wooden box. So they pull that up, they open
is it his
and
ashes?
there's like of just incense and perfume and shit that comes out. And inside of the box is a fucking crystal skull inside of a velvet cloth. Don't worry, it gets weirder somehow. So they track down who put the crystal skull there, and somebody finally admits to doing it, and it is the founder of the Hard Rock Cafe and the House of Blues, Isaac Tigrit, because originally there was going to be a Hard Rock Cafe inside of the pyramid. Still raises the question, why the fuck are we putting crystal skulls at the top like it's an Indiana Jones movie? Isaac Tigrit's reasoning was, I'm not making this up. I promise you, I can show you the interviews where he talks about it. When Isaac Tigrit was 27 years old, he was drunk driving his Porsche and crashed it, careening it off a 400-foot cliff. And as the car is rolling down the cliff, an Indian man appeared and held him through the crash. And he walks out of this car wreck. The car is just completely obliterated. And he walks out without so much as a scratch or a bruise.
He appeared instantly in this room. He picked me up and put me on a bed. He pulled my tongue out. I'm watching this from above. He places his hand on my chest and pushes on my chest, and the spirit went right back into my body.
A couple years later, he's in a bookstore and he sees the Indian man that held him through this car crash on the back of a book and finds out that it's his Indian spiritual leader named Sai Baba. So he goes to India multiple times.
Shut up.
My chest, and the spirit went right back into my body.
A couple years later, he's in a bookstore and he sees the Indian man that held him through this car crash on the back of a book and finds out that it's his Indian spiritual leader named Sai.
I think I have someone in my family that's following this. Maybe it's a different guy wearing orange. But she's changed her name and everything and has become this. I don't know. She goes and she lives there for some parts of the year. I just was like, whoa, small world, I guess.
Sai Baba. So he goes to India multiple times, ends up giving this guy millions and millions of dollars, and becomes best buddies with this Indian spiritual leader, Sai Baba. And when Sai Baba finds out that they're building a massive pyramid in Memphis and they're putting a Hard Rock Cafe on the top, Sai Baba gives Isaac this crystal skull and gives him instructions on how to mount it at the very top, because it's gonna please the cosmos or put out good vibes or some shit. So that's what Isaac Tigrit does.
Why
Then
not?
fast forward, the maintenance guys find it, they take it down, they track Isaac Tigrit down, and Isaac Tigrit is like, you need to put it back up there or you're gonna disrupt the cosmos. At which point they're like, no, that's fucking weird. We're not doing that. Alex Jones is already breathing down our neck, saying that we're some satanic cult.
That turn the friggin' frogs gay.
We're not mounting crystal skulls at the top of the fucking pyramid. So then people find out about this. People start saying that now the pyramid is cursed, and it's starting to look like it's true, because the first night it opens up for a concert, the sewage backs up and ruins the entire event. From here, it's just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happening. One of the maintenance crew guys plummets to his death. People keep falling down the staircases because the stairs are too steep, because they built a concert venue inside of a fucking pyramid. The seats are uncomfy because they made them too small, trying to cram as many people into this auditorium as possible. Again, because it's a pyramid, which is not a great shape to have a concert venue to begin with. Eventually, a bunch of musicians refuse to even play that venue because apparently the acoustics inside of a pyramid aren't that great. The entire venue just becomes synonymous with not having a good time. It's a huge waste of taxpayer money. Memphis is actually losing money every single month keeping this place open, and the people in Memphis start referring to it as the Tomb of Doom. So by 2007, the entire venue...
The Tomb of Doom. Jesus Christ.
It was just shut down. Nobody wants to go there anymore. And now there's just a big, empty, haunted pyramid on the Mississippi River in Memphis, Tennessee. Cue Johnny Morris, the guy expanding his hospitality and resort business. And he's like, you know what? I could put a Bass Pro Shop in that motherfucker. It'd be awesome. At face value, it's funny. Why wouldn't you go to a giant pyramid to buy a fishing lure? That's hilarious. But we're also going to call it the Redneck Mecca. Why is that funny? Well, because Mecca is the holiest place in the Muslim faith, and every single Muslim on the planet is obligated to go there at least once in their life if they're physically and financially capable of doing so. We're going to quietly insinuate that every redneck in North America has a religious obligation to make a pilgrimage to Memphis so that they can buy a fishing lure from our pyramid. Then we're going to put a 100-room resort at the bottom of it. We're going to have a bowling alley. There's going to be an indoor swamp, a shooting range. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would you want to put your retail business inside of a haunted pyramid? Because your customer base is rednecks. You want to know who doesn't give a shit about being haunted? Rednecks. If anything, it makes it better. You know what's more fun than being able to go to a pyramid to buy a fucking fishing lure? Being able to go to a pyramid, buy a fishing lure with the slight chance that you're going to get to shoot a ghost with a shotgun loaded with rock salt, okay? Okay, these are rowdy, fearless individuals. These are who Charlie Daniels was talking about, okay? If you told a story about any other demographic on the planet that started out with they made a deal with Satan, it would be a cautionary tale where this guy loses his soul. Not rednecks. Rednecks are gonna beat that motherfucker in a fiddle contest, win a golden fiddle because they can. So the pyramid being cursed, definitely not a downside. If anything, it's an upside. The only real downside, to be honest with you, is that, well, you're creating a tourist attraction for rednecks, and if they're staying overnight, they're probably going to get drunk and rowdy and get naked and take a cannonball into the fish tank.
Man made quite a splash at a Bass Pro Shop when he swam naked. Police say he crashed his car in the parking lot, took off all of his clothes, he jumped into the water yelling cannonball.
And then, of course, there's the cost.
Oh, man. That's like there's this one police video where this guy gets like super high. What does he break into? It's like a pizza place. He just fucks the place up.
Obviously, buying the world's 7th largest pyramid that's on the river on prime real estate is going to be pretty expensive, whether it's haunted or not. So Johnny Morris doesn't really know if it's going to be a good business idea. He definitely doesn't want to lose money, so he just kind of like sets it in the hands of God and lets him make the decision. He decides, you know what? I'm just going to schedule a fishing trip on the Mississippi River right near the pyramid, and I'm going to go fishing for catfish. And if I catch a really big catfish, that's going to be my sign that I'm going to buy this pyramid. And sure enough, Johnny Morris goes on this fishing trip and catches a 34-pound fucking catfish in the shadow of the pyramid. Okay, do you understand the significance of what I've just told you? This is the most...
That's beautiful. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? That's art. Dude, God wanted this. Damn. I had no idea. I had no idea the significance of Bass Pro Shops. I had no idea. Wow. Damn, dog. That's beautiful. If it wasn't real and like we all didn't know it to be fact, like I'm just assuming this is all real. Why would he lie about this? You know what I mean? Like, what a beautiful story.
American thing that's ever happened. All right, a pyramid got built in Memphis. It's the 7th largest pyramid on the planet that people now think is haunted because some millionaire that opened up the Hard Rock Cafe was drunk driving his Porsche and had a vision that he was saved by an Indian spirit guide. So he had him place a crystal skull at the top, and then it was haunted and run out of business. And then it got brought back by some dude that became a billionaire by selling fishing lures out the ass end of a liquor store in Springfield, Missouri. So in conclusion, I guess I don't know. I don't know how I got here, to be honest with you. I guess if we could draw anything from this, pick whatever you want to do in life, even if it's something as simple as selling fishing lures, and get so outrageously good at it that you can then financially justify buying a haunted pyramid. Because America, I guess.
It's the dream.
Your devil worship fails. The hillbillies, the country boy can't survive. The John Deere hat wins. You lose, we win. Your little devil palace is falling down.
Oh boy.
At this point, I'm convinced that there's no U.S.-based company that does anything normal whatsoever. Coca-Cola's Confederate cocaine water, Waffle House is being used by FEMA to track natural disasters, and apparently Bass Pro Shop is an outdoor monopoly that's getting involved in investing in haunted pyramids.
So wholesome. I liked that. I want to buy a pyramid. Guys, why don't I have pyramid money yet? Damn. Damn. I gotta get to hustling. So maybe one day I can afford a pyramid of my own. A pyramid to call my own. Deep bop boop, I love follow through. Flip it around. Alright, I gotta find another one. We need to talk. We need to talk.
Batter 22 just subscribed with Prime. They say Batter 22 subscribed with Prime.
Shit. Shit. Hell yeah. Give me that money. Give me your money. Pyramid Fund when, right? Oh my God. I had no idea that I had a goal like that. But here I am. Here I am, and my third eye is wide open. I need a pyramid. Let me see. You guys gave me a few. Waffle House, that was one that was mentioned.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on, because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has. But on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South, and I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the U.S. military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion. Today we're talking about Waffle House. Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So they managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get to it right after a word from our sponsor. Yeah, babe, what's up?
Hey, I need a boombox.
Okay, I can go get you one.
Perfect.
All right, I'll go get it now. Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
1 hour later.
Where's that boombox that I asked for?
Oh, it's right here. I got it for you.
What is this?
The boombox.
No, I wanted something to play music with.
Oh, that kind of boombox. Yeah, I got this instead.
Okay, we'll go to the store and get me a boombox so I can listen to music.
Can I keep this one still?
I don't care.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business model. You give them money and condition, but when you have Delete, so when you buy Delete Me, you're not consequences of all the free shit that you school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now you gotta remember, at this point in time, like 1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl Harbor has not happened, and prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that, Tom Faulkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, fighting a war or whatever. So he chooses to be a draftee. Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course, he actually gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer, where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret.
Fuck yes.
I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he
just watched that.
He gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever, and try to infiltrate a U.S. military base to expose weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies. So he does that for a couple of years, and then one day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee and he's given his orders, and those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are gonna hop in that truck and you are gonna drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are gonna dress in plain clothes. You're not gonna look at what's inside the truck. You're not gonna talk about what's inside the truck. You're gonna take this map and take that exact route. This route avoids every major city and every major highway. You are gonna drive straight there, 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop. And then like 20, 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons. Which, as we all know, brings about the end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out with his real estate agency. Now he does that for about 10 years, and during this time he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends. Joe Rogers was also an Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Toddle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day his neighbor and best friend, Tom Faulkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Toddle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Toddle House. You should start your own thing. Toddle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Faulkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's Pancake's house?
What?
We stop at Pancake's house.
And within the span of like 6 months, the very first of what is now the legendary restaurant chain of Waffle House opens. And Waffle House is legendary, probably for all the wrong reasons. I mean, even if you've never been to a Waffle House, you've heard about Waffle House because, well, I mean, Kid Rock got in a fight there. You've got Haley Booth, the viral Waffle House cook known as the Last Chairbender. There's entire subreddits and YouTube channels almost exclusively dedicated to all the fights that break out at Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House, I stretched first, I grabbed a GoPro, I was ready to yell World Star, Nothing exciting happened. I just had delicious breakfast at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which is probably 99% of people's experiences because despite all of the negative PR, Waffle House makes a ton of money and has an incredible business model. Okay, Waffle House had about $1.4 billion in revenue last year, which is about $650,000 per location. And when you take into consideration that each Waffle House is absolutely tiny, that's really impressive. Out of their 2,000...
I haven't had Waffle House. I've had Waffle House like 2 times since I moved down to Florida. I just never eat out. It was good when I had it. And when I do eat out, I don't really like going to chain restaurants. I like to go to just like local, like whatever's, like, you know. Damn. Yeah, it's not bad. I had a sandwich one time and a waffle the other time. Both were really good. One of the better breakfast chains, in my opinion. Late night drunk shenanigans. Yeah, I could see where it would be good for that. His commitment to his friendships are probably the favorite thing in the story. Yeah, it's wholesome.
1,100 tiny Waffle House locations. Their yearly stats are 58 million cups of coffee, 124 million waffles,
Whoa.
153
Whoa.
million servings of hash browns, 272 million eggs, which is about 2% of all the eggs consumed in the United States of America, and 85 million strips of bacon. Yes, I did the math. That is about 8,000 miles worth of bacon.
I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right. What exactly are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out at Waffle House, in a way, has actually helped them out a ton, because Waffle House, by and large, is pretty much a regional chain. It's primarily down in the South. Yet, Waffle House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even seen a Waffle House, and you already know Waffle House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and they serve breakfast. Why do you...
I know that in Florida, there's like an IHOP metric that you can tell where hurricanes are or how bad the hurricanes are based on how many IHOPs are closed. Or is that Waffle House as well? I can't really remember.
You know they serve breakfast? Because their name is fucking Waffle House. I mean, look at this sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe. Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food. Fucking sold. I'm in. So already, the branding is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is, right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I could be blackout drunk at 4 in the morning, and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time. And then you go,
I
the
love
only thing
breakfast.
open right now.
The Pizza Index, yes! Around the Pentagon, you can tell like we're going to war or there's going to be like a military endeavor happening when all the pizza chains get busy near the White House. It's so funny. I like stuff like that.
Now is Waffle House. Okay, I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money. It makes sense that Tom Faulkner was a counterintelligence officer because the man literally said 2 words and has already subconsciously tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both simple and brilliant, and the rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now, at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which they are, but there's way more to it than that. Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having one kitchen and 100 customers, you've got one kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every customer is going to get exactly what they wanted. Okay, they're not going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there
Elucidator
because they're hungry,
1277.
and they want breakfast.
Just subscribe with Prime. They say Elucidator
I almost fucking
1277.
lost my shit there.
Subscribe with Prime.
Thank you again with your Prime subs. Oh my god. I'm gonna be at like $60 on Twitch. That's crazy. It's so crazy to have like multi what do you even call that? I can't think straight. I'm in like art brain. Multiple revenue sources? Christ. I can think.
And now they're gonna get breakfast.
You've seen drunk fight several times at Waffle House. One near where I worked was right next to a huge bar. That's crazy. I've never seen a bar fight or anything crazy like that. One of the craziest things was when I was in a Hooters with my friend. We were just like grabbing a beer, and there was these other people that dined and dashed. And as the one person was dashing, their fucking iPhone flew out of their pocket and like slid onto the floor. It was crazy. I wish I sat around to like see if they came back for it or like what was done over that. But I mean, I remember I told the waitress, I was like, you should just fucking keep that shit. But you know, I don't know what they have to do in a situation like that. But that was the craziest thing I saw. Multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of big juicy tips.
Really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking. What if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with a line out the door 24/7 every day of the year? Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No, we're gonna take the same parking lot and right next to that first Waffle House, we're gonna build a second fucking Waffle House, okay? The plan is working, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. Which is one of those things that seems dumb.
You stay away from them. Sometimes people start shooting. Where the fuck do you live? Holy shit.
But is actually brilliant. So obviously speed is key to this business model.
This just makes me want a waffle maker. One of my favorite things. When I drive through the country, I don't always say, oh no, I don't know where to mute and I need to sneeze. Oh no. Oh, also, what? I'm so tiny down here. Whoops. Just looking at me. Oopsies. Heck. Unloading their streams all over Nyanus. You watch yourself. Multiple streams of income. DSP's wet dream. He's got that, doesn't he? He's on Kick. And he's on YouTube. And he also, you can donate directly through the PayPal link. Send it right now. Big juicy tip. Don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams.
And they've done themselves a big favor with their menu because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper. Okay, the entire menu is
giving it a like here and subbed on Twitch. Thank you for your support. Thanks for your big juicy support.
comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy.
Whoa. Hey, you go to the Waffle House for the hash browns smothered and covered. I'm pretty sure one of the times I went, I got that as a side. They had some crazy hash brown bowl, morning breakfast bowl or something. That was like a side thing that Husbanus and I split. The time that I got the waffle, because I was like, they were right too when he said like, when you make the name Waffle House, people are going to get a waffle. One of the times where I went and I got a waffle specifically was because I was like, I even said that to Husbanus. I'm like, well, I'm going to Waffle House. I got to have their waffle. I fell right into his clever little plan. And I know that that's like, oh, I got tricked, bamboozled, and it was delicious. I had some sort of blueberry one with some sort of fixins on top. It was yummy.
Butter.
Hash browns all the way. I should just take the dive and go out for breakfast. I just make breakfast, you know? Like, I don't know, man. I'm a simple creature.
How many flavors of syrup they have? One, it's fucking syrup-flavored syrup. The entire menu is simple, exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on.
I think, because everything's in, like, such, like, driving distance. Like, to even go out to breakfast is to drive, like, 20, 30 minutes in one direction and stuff. I'm like, I could just make breakfast. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not often out doing errands before I eat. Like, I'd have to go out and do an errand and keep myself hungrier. There would be a reason why I would need to go out on the weekend. I would plan it earlier in the day and then go out for breakfast kind of thing. So it's not impossible. I just don't really think to do it.
Multi-Tracion just subscribed
I love saving
with
money.
Prime. They say Multi-Tracion subscribed with Prime.
I think too, the reason why I like saving money and I like cooking, so it's like a double whammy. Like, I don't know, it's really satisfying to both save money and then like make food at home, and then, I don't know, less time spent going around, and no butter flavored syrup.
The reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain.
I don't have a nice juicy tip, but I do have that Prime Mussy. Oh yeah, fucking slide me your Prime Mussy, baby. I appreciate it. Dude, I got so many Prime, again, like, dude, that's like It's so guilt-free. If you're already paying Bezos those dollars, get some of those dollars back and give it to a streamer in need, a Nyanus in need. Money, money. It's like the most. I have no guilt when people give me. It's like one of my. Anytime people give me money, there's like like somewhere deep down, there's like a pinch of guilt, and I feel bad. And earlier in stream, someone was like, when I was streaming, I got $5 and I had another pinch of guilt because I made more than $5 when they said that. And I want them to make more money too, like, you know, but heck. But yeah, I'll go out for breakfast at some point. Husbanus and I haven't for a while. And like, it is nice to go out once in a while for breakfast. Like, we do like to do it. Again, it's just, I make a pretty damn good breakfast too, you know? And I'll put all the meats out. If he wants sausage and bacon and stuff, I can do that. And when we go out too, he'll get like a side order of bacon, and it's always like so expensive. And I add up all the dollars, and I'm like, I could make this at home for cheaper. I do that all the time. I'm a fucking rascal. Even today, Husbanus was like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to go pick up Chinese food. And I was like, whoa, hold on just a second. I had no idea. Here, let me cook you dinner. You stop that right now. But yeah.
And when it comes to taking care of their employees, they pay them higher than average. They have super flexible schedules, and they're one of, if not the only fast food chain that actually offers all their employees
go. I'll have to go, and I'll
dental
try and make a point to go to a Waffle House just because of this video.
Insurance. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, but really, how good are they actually treating the Waffle House employees? I got the one stat that's everything.
I think any breakfast is going to be better at home because you just know how everyone likes their stuff. Like, I know Husbanus and I both like crispy bacon, you know? I'll make some fucking crispy bacon. Like, it's bacon butter. It melts in your mouth. But, like, the one thing I don't like is when I go out and I just get a basic breakfast. Because one of my favorite things to get is just bacon and eggs. Like, I'll just get a bacon and egg breakfast. It reminds me of when my dad and I would do scrap, and there was the odd time we would eat breakfast out. But this was, like, back when it was, like, $2.70. I sound like such a fucking old person. But there was like a place we went to, and I swear to God, it was like $3.75 or something for the breakfast. Like, and you just get like a plate of like 2 eggs, a couple pieces of either bacon or sausage, some toast, and some like potatoes. Like, I don't know. It was breakfast. Like, it wasn't very expensive, and like it was a big turnover and everything. And, you know, like you would tip them and stuff. So they still. But I remember my dad and I would go in for under $10 and get breakfast. That's crazy. When I go up, we still go out for breakfast the odd time there, I guess. But they don't have Waffle House in that hometown. But, like, I don't know. I feel like it's so expensive. It's always over $20 now to just go out for bacon and eggs. It's crazy. Crazy. But anyways, yeah, I just get the bacon and eggs because it reminds me of doing scrap with my dad. And he would get the sausage and eggs and the eggs over easy. And then I would get the bacon and eggs and the eggs over easy. But, yeah. But in 1950 or something, I don't know, it was in Canada, and it was like, it wasn't at all the places. It was just like one of the times, like if we went far out of town, because like sometimes we would pick up scrap in town, but we would go to like other towns because they were having like heavy garbage pickup, and that's like when you would find scrap. And like we went out to this town, and it was like a farmer town, and they just had like a ridiculous breakfast special. And the thing is too, like, there was oftentimes, like, how many people actually got the breakfast special? A lot of people showed up and they would get other things. Like, there was other things on the breakfast menu, like breakfast sandwiches. Like, if my mom ever came, like, she liked to get the Western omelet, which was not that price. You know, it was, like, more expensive. But they just had a breakfast special. You show up before 9 or something like that, you get the breakfast special. Dirt cheap. It was just, like, it was in the... like the late 2000s, I guess, like, you know.
Thing you need to know, okay? Waffle House treats their employees so well that
Back
employees are willing to commute into a natural disaster to work at a different...
Dude, I'm the most un-Canadian, because even when I worked at McDonald's, I never fucking ate the goddamn Canadian bacon. That's ham. Canadian bacon is ham. When I think bacon, I like my bacon crispy. My bacon melts in my mouth. You can't do that with fucking Canadian P-mail bacon, whatever you want to call it. I hate it. I never liked it. It's ham. And P-mail is not even the same thing. P-mail is like a little steakette almost. Like, but Canadian bacon, shit's for the dogs. Anytime I go to McDonald's, especially It's not as common here, but in Canada, when you go to McDonald's, you can get the breakfast sandwich that's bacon and round egg, and that's if I drive through the country, I often pick up a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's because like I don't like their burgers. They make me feel drowsy. But I always ask, I'm like, can I get the breakfast sandwich, the bacon and egg, but with fucking strip bacon? Because I'm not a fucking animal. It's ham. It's ham. When Husbanus wants Chinese food, Naina squints her eyes and says, no, no, no. We make the Chinese long time and good. Well, I didn't make Chinese food. I just made chicken and like a chop salad. But we can have like, you know, Chinese food. We can, like, it's going to be New Year's Eve soon. That's a day to have Chinese food because then we'll be partying and have like our little drinks and stuff. I feel like we can just wait a couple days. Oh, Blue wants inside. 1 second. America. I'm coming, Blue. 1 second, buddy. 1 second, little buddy. You coming in too, Sumi? They want him. They want upstairs. All right. Let me go just refill my water real quick. Blue! He's a good dog. He's so cute. Whoops. Whoa, you're back, Blue. Yeah, I'm coming to check your water too, Tom. Oh, I wanted a banana. 1 second. I'm back. I'm gonna turn my vibration plate on. I'm gonna shake my legs. It felt good to walk around. I'm gonna shake my legs. Kingdom. 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 Nice juicy chicken. I had a nice juicy chicken. My chicken's so juicy. Are you kidding me? Fucking so juicy. I love squirting lemon all over it while it's cooking too. Hell yeah. Send a juicy chicken. Send it right now through the PayPal link.
Different Waffle House when the occasion arises. Yeah, Waffle House is
No, I'm
open
just gonna
24
shake my
hours a day,
legs.
365 days
good.
a year, and they fucking mean it, okay? Whenever there's like
It's
a
the blood
hurricane
flow.
coming or some type of impending natural
Yeah,
disaster,
the Waffle House Index.
organizes what they call a jump team.
Yeah, my bad. It wasn't IHOP. It was Waffle House. Again, I hardly eat out. And the only reason I have had IHOP and even the 2 times I had Waffle House is because Husbanus insisted. I had to try it, you know? And I ended up really liking IHOP. I remember IHOP was one of the places he took me when I first came down. It was before COVID, and it had all the sauces. And I was like, wow, this is so American. Like, look at all these fucking sauces. That was pretty sick. It's pretty sick. And I remember we went once during COVID, and there was no sauces out. And I was like, this is bullshit. It's the only reason I come here was for the sauce smorgasbord. Hyannis's chicken brings Husbanus to the yard. Dude, my chicken's really good. I love chicken too. I love getting the chicken quarters because they're so cheap. I had 4 chicken quarters, $6. It's on sale this week at Publix too. It was like $1.40 a pound or something like that. I fucking love it. I love a good deal. It's crazy that I can make dinner for Husbanus and I, and it's under $10 with meat. You know? Fuck yeah. Charging me for OJ refills. Wow, it's crazy how much breakfast places charge for orange juice.
A bunch of Waffle House
Very
employees
expensive.
from a different region that's going to be unaffected because they know that their local employees are going to be busy taking care of their own family and their own houses during a hurricane. So they bring in teams from outside the region to work inside of a natural fucking disaster, and they're willing to do it.
I never said thank you.
Atlas, go to sleep.
Okay, McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking...
People not showing up to McDonald's was how I was able to make so much money in college. I got time and a half. I would get overtime multiple times. And the owner, like, there was nothing they could do about it. I remember when I was about to start clocking overtime too, they would try desperately to try and find someone to like fill a shift last minute, but you just couldn't do it. There was a few of us that just kept getting away with it. And I mean, they could afford to do it, but people just call and like, dude, people just don't give a fuck. And like, I worked in a place called Oakville where like any teenagers who were working there were just working there because their parents were making them go through the motions of like having a responsibility, but they were rich children. Like they constantly came in on like prescription drugs, like high on prescription drugs. So they would also just perpetually call in sick, especially for the morning shifts. And if they knew I lived right up the street, and if they gave me a call, I would be in under 15 minutes. I would just like wake up, toss on my fucking uniform and bike down a hill. And I just showed up. Like within 10 minutes even. I didn't even have a car, but I could just scoot down there. It was there was no stop signs. Or there was only one light that I had to cross. That was it, at the bottom of the hill. It was fucking amazing. His ears. Burrito adjacent. He's so cute. Oh, they're all messed up, Atlas. No. Atlas, your ears.
Hurricane
Would
to make
Pato the
breakfast.
dog
And
go?
this is the most
Atlas.
impressive part of the business because Waffle House has
Buddy,
the
your
best
ears.
logistics and preparedness of any company
Oh my
I've
God, they're
ever
both
seen ever.
fucked up.
The only entity that beats them in logistical capacity is the United States military. Waffle House is literally ready for absolutely anything. Every single Waffle House has the playbook inside of it that
cool it.
details exactly how the staff is supposed to handle literally any type of emergency
I
or
had to fix it.
situation that could possibly arise. And if for some
Good
reason
boy. way.
the situation comes across that isn't in that playbook, after it happens, they immediately add it to the playbook. It covers tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, a hole in the roof from a branch falling, a car driving into the restaurant. You can drive a car into Waffle House and they're still planning on staying open. The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well. Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane.
You're gonna go
and they
under
have
my
a bunch
desk?
of extra propane
The
tanks
vibration.
on hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve water.
Headphone
When a
cables.
Waffle House location is going to be in a
Okay, I had to
disaster
turn off
area,
my
that Waffle
vibration
House
plate.
stocks up on extra food.
That's probably for the best because I couldn't actually. I have the keyboard on my lap while I'm drawing, and I was like, I wasn't even able to draw. But Blue just came down and tucked himself below my legs. And wow, Atlas left. Atlas, you traitor. I can't believe this. Oh my, I just fixed that. I fixed his ears. I'm going to have to start an Atlas shock collar fund. This is crazy. Where's he even going? Where's he got to go? That's nuts. Wow.
Food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to get them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
Hey, Atlas. Where you going, bud?
I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Waffle House is so good at this that FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are. Yes, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is. Okay, green, Waffle House is
Costco
running as normal.
1617 donated $5.0.
Oh. Now you guys are hearing me eat a fucking banana.
Yellow, Waffle House is using the backup generator or having to use an altered menu. Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point. Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original two founders. And while they do allow
Wow. I forgot I was still muted.
them more food when they, the most powerful entity on the planet maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is...
Sorry, at some point I was eating banana, then I stopped eating banana, then I said, thanks, Kate to the Swiss. Realized I was muted. But then I was at that point eating more banana. Gave you guys some more fucking lip smack and ASMR. But thank you. Biden can never say your name, so I was like, who? Who? Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it.
Closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original two founders. And while they do allow franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a franchise. And they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they can probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids, and that is the American dream. Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving.
Whoa, Stop. My eyeballs wanted to cry for a second. That's enough of that bullshit. Fucking woman's, man. Don't be a woman. It's hard. Sometimes you get emotional. I hate that. Sometimes at the end of like a happy movie, even like my eyes, I feel them water up. I'm like, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. You get back in there. You do not cry. Soldier. It's fucking insane.
Serving breakfast to people and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In conclusion, Waffle House is the most American company ever, and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the...
Give me the ball. Give me that ball. I'm gonna get that ball. I'm gonna get your ball. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Gonna get it. He doesn't believe me. He doesn't believe I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get your ball. I'm gonna get your ball. Oh, I'm gonna get your ball. I'm sorry. I never meant to make you cry, baby. I'm gonna get your ball, though. I'm gonna get your ball. Oh, you better watch it, punk. Oh, you better watch out. You hang it in this room with that ball. It's a pretty nice ball. I kind of like it. Is that for me? Is that for me? Oh, I'm gonna... give me the ball. Give me the ball. Well, I'm gonna give me the ball. Yeah, give me the ball. Yeah, you're gonna give me the ball. Yeah, come on, bring it here. Come here, bring it here. Come here. Give me the ball. Oh, you're tough, huh? Oh, you're scary. Oh, scary guy. Oh, that a ball hates to see him coming. Shit, boy. He's dangerous. He's deadly. Bad to the bone. Oh, buddy, you're back to being a burrito. Good job. The goodest boy. The growl. Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. He talks a big game, but again, I don't have a video of it because I'm like a responsible parent, and like when shit happens, I'm not grabbing my phone to fucking record. But Sume latched onto his ear once. He didn't even fight back. He laid on the ground and he cried. Fucking baby. What a baby. You're a baby, Atlas. That's all you're ever gonna be. Oh. Sume's like a miniature husky. She's not like a full-size husky. She's tiny. You know, she's like half his size. She's literally like 40 pounds and he's 90, 95-ish to 96. He kind of fluctuates. Don't give her the ball, Atlas. It's a trap. Oh, yeah, it's his ball. He's the toy master in this house. He likes to have all the toys. He gathers them. Sometimes I go to bed at night and there's like 5 toys on my bed. Currently, he's been using Husbanus's office. Husbanus's office is like ground zero for dumping his toys, so there's like 4 or 5 toys just chilling in there. He's all bark and no bite. Yeah, he's full of shit. I don't think he even understands what he's doing. He's got huge teeth, too. He could be such a problem if he chose violence. There was another one people recommended, and I can't remember which one it was. I bet if I went by popular, it would be something like that. Hey, Atlas. Why she act like such a baby? When I shock her, she goes crazy. What, Bat Derp, you're trying to bait me? I see through Nyena's 2.0. What is going on here? What is going on? What is he doing that's like me? I don't understand. What? What? The chicken conspiracy robbing Americans? Oh, I've heard about this, actually. That at first the title was getting me, but I've actually heard about that. The chicken tax. Some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Go to his main channel. Dog, like I know this. What's his main channel? This is the Fat Files. Where am I supposed to go? Where is his main channel? Help. Atlas Sume Fritter. The Puppies 3. I got Blue too. Don't forget Blue. The fuck is Pepperbox? The heck is Pepperbox? You guys keep saying all these words and I'm old. And I'm old. I see the Fat Files. When I search Fat Electrician, I'm not finding any channel called Fat Electrician. Is this? Oh, there it is. I found him. I found him. Thank you. My bad. I was getting hostile. I was getting hostile like I ran some sort of like Somali daycare. I was fucking calling you all liars. I had my phone in my hand and I was almost about to call 911 on y'all motherfuckers. I couldn't believe it. Husbanus, I keep restarting the back end, so I might have broken your active connection. Oh, how dare you? How dare you break me up with my Biden bot? I'll double check that, Husbanus. He sent me a message. All right, which channel? Pepperbox is his streaming service. He owns it with other YouTubers. Oh, that's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty neat. Pepperbox is the platform he and the rest of the unsubscribed guys and a bunch of other creators made. It's paywalled, so they can post stuff there that would get them canceled everywhere else. Oh, that's pretty cool. I know that there was some, what was his name? Ross Creations did something like that. He was making like a place for joke videos and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like stuff like that. That's neat. Husbanus is being a detractor. He's being a detractor. It's true. What am I doing on this channel? What are we looking for here? What do we want? What do we want? Husbanus villain arc. He's fucking with me. He's trying to ruin me. He's sabotaging me. No, he's doing cool stuff. He's trying to give Chair Sama an avatar so that it's something actually animates and speaks. And it's all running on he needs more hardware. Start the Husbanus hardware fund. That shit actually matters. It does suck that a lot of AI is just like you're limited by hardware, and now hardware is getting so expensive because like all these other places are just fucking hoarding them. It's so stupid. Horse video. Is there a horse video on this channel? Horse. The War Horse Marine. Is this what you want? Is that what you want? Your husband better be fucking with you, otherwise that's not a good marriage. What? It's a great marriage. He's testing the back end.
Money! Yeah, baby,
what he's doing is like working on a rig for Chair Sama, so he has to keep restarting the service because it's also just running on a computer in the house. And there's like no backup. So once he has to restart the service, it's... I was joking. I joke. Don't... I would never say anything negative about Husbanus. Look at this cool thing he built, you know? It's so cool. It speaks to you. But yeah, it might just be down right now. So, yeah, thank you, Anxiety, for the US $2. I don't like Palestine. He turned Anakin evil. Yes, this is the one.
What
Sergeant.
if I told you...
Sorry, I'm sorry. You guys, you're also speaking to me. Ay. I'm so slow. For the Husbanus Tech Fund. The Husbanus Tech Fund.
Baby, yeah!
Thank you very much. My childhood. Oh, My childhood.
Money! Yeah, baby, yeah!
Sergeant Reckless. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. Yeah, my YouTube is stale. Fucking stagnant. Let me see. Let me see. I fixed this. I can fix it. What did I just see? Boom. No status update for 2 minutes. Dan Zulus with the 20 R's. Cheers to my boy Atlas, the other 3 pups, and of course Nyanus and Husbanus. Most importantly, Husbanus. He's my better half. That's what you say, right? Husbanus Tech Fund is now at $2. Biden voice. Thank you, Enrala. They'll wake up eventually.
That if it were not for the actions of a single beer-drinking horse over the course of 48 hours, South Korea as we know it today would probably not exist. Today we're talking about the greatest war horse of all time, the highest ranking animal in Marine Corps history, and the hero
Oh
of
yeah,
Outpost
I can even see some of the back end has changed a bit.
Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Reckless. Alright, before we get too far in this video, we do have a sponsor for a couple of reasons. 1, I got bills, just gonna be honest with you. 2, I gotta pay the editor. And 3, in the case of this particular video, back in the day, it used to be a rule that whenever Sergeant Reckless did any type of publicity, whoever did it had to make a $1,000 donation to a Marine Corps charity, and I am gonna honor that since I'm making this video about her. That being said, this video is brought to you by Raid VPN. Wait, no. Nord Shadow Legends. No. NordVPN, that's the one. Full disclosure, I tried to make a funny skit ad for this video where like me and my wife were both in bed and instead of using a condom, I used NordVPN and then I accidentally put a condom on my phone, but my skit failed miserably. Okay, get out of here, Lucio. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. If I used NordVPN, my dog wouldn't have been able to find me because I'd be in Singapore, actually. NordVPN, your dog can find you, but your internet service for...
Why are dogs like the biggest cock blocks? This happens. This happens sometimes in the morning, and like Atlas just shows up and tries to like get between us. You're like, fucking shut the door, get him out of there. Crazy, crazy.
Spider can. Okay, so believe it or not, I actually do use NordVPN in real life, but I use it for a different reason than any other talking point you've ever heard in a Nord ad ever, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys that today. All right, so let's say I wanna start working on a new video, so I hop over to Google to find some sources. We pull up Google, and let's see what we come up with. Let's say I wanna do a video on Aimo Koivunen, the Finnish guy that took a bunch of Pervitin. Google that, here's what pops up. I've got a Wikipedia page, and then a bunch of websites.
I got bills, and I gotta pay the editor. Paying the editor isn't a bill? Snap.
To just regurgitate the same article over and over and over again. Now, I know that Aimo is from Finland, so if I hop over to NordVPN and I actually change my location from America to Finland, hopefully, since it's his native language, it'll give me some better sources. 2 seconds later, I'm now connected to Finland, and as far as anybody on the internet is concerned, I am a Finnish guy in Finland browsing the web. Now, we just go back and I hit refresh, and as you can see, I have a bunch of different sources.
423 donated $2.0 and says, I don't like Palestine. He turned Anakin evil.
Oh,
Jericho Graham, 28, donated $2.0.
I don't know. When I read it, I didn't really get the joke because you were thinking Palpatine. I get it. No, like, I get the joke because you're... Fuck, man. I can't believe I read that out and it went right over my fucking head. I'm like, it took Biden reading it to me to hear it. Palpatine. I get the joke now. You're being funny. I like that type of humor.
Dan Zalachos donated $20.0 and says, cheers to my boy Atlas, the other 3 pups, and of course Nyanus and Husbanus.
It's true.
Jericho Graham, 28, donated
Thank you for the 20 again, and thank you for the 2 and the joke.
The Husbanus Tech Fund is now at $2.
Oh shit! The tech fund is going up. Biden making things clear. What is this? That's how you know he's AI. That just ain't right. He's never made so much sense. I feel like... Oops. Oops. It's like when I make jokes with my grandmother. How fucking dare you? How dare you? You motherfucker. Thank you so much for the $2 in the sassy comments. You're so lucky. You're so lucky you gave me that $2 or I would have banned you, little ass. I would have banned you, little Nyanus.
Then I go up here, I hit translate, and now I have a new source of information for my video on IMO that I never would have been able to find were it not for NordVPN. And it has a bunch of other use cases on top of that, so if you wanted to check it out for yourself, you can go to nordvpn.com/thefatelectrician. Now let's get back to this video. Our story takes place during the Korean War, which is kind of an issue because most people know absolutely nothing about the Korean War, and it's kind of important for context. So, we're going to do a real quick and dirty oversimplification of the entire thing. Super casual, 60 seconds. We're going to learn more about the Korean War than most people do in their entire K-12 education. Go ahead and start the timer. Here we go. July 25th, 1950. Communist North Korea, backed by Communist China and the Soviet Union, decides that they are going to attack South Korea and try to take over the entire peninsula. Over the course of the next 5 to 6 weeks, they would almost accomplish their goal, beating the South Korean military all the way to the base of the peninsula, and it is not looking good. But luckily, NATO shows up at the last minute to save the day. The NATO forces are like 90% American, but there's also some British, some Canadian, some Australian, and like 12 other countries on top of that, and they have a huge amphibious landing in Incheon, and they proceed to turn the tables on the North Koreans entirely, beating them all the way back into North Korea, and then they continue to advance,
get the fuck
beating
out.
them all the way up the peninsula and almost to the border of China. So now the Chinese government's kind of shitting their pants because NATO's like 30 miles off their border, and they can't have NATO coming up in their territory with their democracy and their human rights and their food. They've got to do something about this. So China comes out of left field with their big-ass military, joins the fight, takes NATO completely by surprise, beats them all the way back down the peninsula to pretty much the original North and South Korean border, and this is where our story begins. I'm not trying to brag, but that was under 60 seconds, and I got a Lord of the Rings reference in there. I'm having a really good day. Okay, now that we're on the same page, October 1952, here's what the front line looks like. Each one of those triangles represents a hill, and on top of those hills is a bunch of NATO troops. Basically, at this point in time, NATO is now just trying to hold this line long enough to force the communists to sign a peace treaty and preserve
NATO used to be good. All good things must come to an end. You know, just like shit gets soft, we go through, like, I just feel it's inevitable, and it goes for almost anything, right down to businesses. Like, they can only turn over hands so many generations before they just turn to shit. Like, without, like, someone actually shaking things up and changing to stay with the times, they kind of just rest on their laurels and start just pocketing money, and they just kind of exist to have, like, money wasted, essentially. Because, like, even having to, like, I don't know, send leaders and stuff to go talk and meet, and I don't know, and weird.
South Korea, because as it turns out, this long string of hills is almost the exact same border that South Korea was before. So if they can utilize these hills to hold the high ground, maybe they can get this accomplished. Why do they want to hold the high ground? Well, because the high ground's awesome, isn't it, Anakin? Yeah, anyways, if I could bring your attention to the furthest triangle on the left where it says the Nevada cities. That is not actually one hill, but 3 smaller hills in a close triangular formation, commonly referred to as the Iron Triangle. Each one of these hills is named after one of the 3 Nevada gambling cities, Reno, Carson, and Vegas. The reason that NATO named them after the Nevada gambling cities is because it is a gamble as to whether or not the Marine Corps is going to be able to hold that position. Because if Chinese Communist forces are going to try to break through this line, it's probably going to be right there at the Nevada cities, because then they will have a direct path to the capital of Seoul, and if they're able to capture Seoul, it'll be absolutely devastating to NATO's ability to negotiate a peace treaty. So the United States Marine Corps absolutely has to hold this position, and most importantly, they have to hold Outpost Vegas because it is the highest of the 3 hills, and if they lose Vegas, they are almost guaranteed to lose the other 2. Alright, so here's the plan. Each one of these hills is going to have 40 Marines and 2 Navy corpsmen on top. These hills are so steep that the only way to get up there is by foot. They're like a 45-degree angle all the way up. So the Marines aren't able to get trucks up there. They're not able to get tanks up there. The only thing they can get up there is barbed wire, shovels for digging trenches, guns, and 75mm recoilless rifles. These recoilless rifles are pretty much going to be the Marines' only chance of defending themselves if they do get attacked. The problem with it is, though, since you can't get a truck up on this hill, now the Marines have to carry all the ammunition up themselves, and each shell weighs approximately 24 pounds. So because carrying these shells up this enormous hill one or two at a time absolutely sucks, the Marines get permission to buy a horse or a mule or a donkey or something. So they go down to Seoul and they start looking. And obviously, the first place they choose to investigate is the horse racetrack at Seoul. Is there probably going to be a pack animal at a racetrack for sale? No, probably not, because that's racehorses, and racehorses don't make good pack animals. But that is the one place that's going to have alcohol and gambling, so you best believe that's where the Marines are going to check first. But as fate would have it, they would meet up with a horse trainer and jockey by the name
Chris Topher donated $2.0 and says Naga has 2 cocks sleepy. Joe wants to see that Hume.
Kim Hook Moon, who would be willing to reluctantly sell his horse, Ah Chim Hai, which
he almost said it. He like knew what you were up to, and he really slowed that down on you. He's scamming. Sleepy Joe's scamming.
Translates to flame in the morning. He absolutely did not want to sell this horse. He described it as the most beautiful and intelligent horse on the planet, but he did it for $250 because he had to buy his sister a prosthetic leg. I believe her name was Peggy, or was it Eileen? Anyways, the Marines buy this horse, they throw her in a trailer, they take her back to camp. From there, she immediately goes into what the Marines call hoof camp. Get it? Hoof camp, boot camp. That's funny. Moving on. The first thing they do is try to get the horse acclimated to battle by firing the recoilless rifle near her. And the first time they fired this rifle, this horse jumped 4 feet straight into the air and freaked the fuck out. Then they calmed her down, they fired it again, still scared out of her mind. And they fired it again and again. And by the 8th time they fired it, she was completely calm, and a recoilless rifle never scared her ever again. From there, they taught her how to survive. She learned how to avoid barbed wire. She learned not to get too close to the back end of the recoilless rifles because the blowback could hurt.
This is so funny. They're getting a goddamn horse.
She learned that whenever a Marine yelled incoming, she needed to run to a nearby bunker, or if she wasn't near a bunker, she learned how to lay down. After she completed her
Stupid Joe. Stupid Joe, and you stupid way you say stupid words. Motherfucking. Let's.
Chris Topher donated $2.0 and says Naga has 2 cocks sleepy. Joe wants to see that Hume.
The Hume wants to see that Hume. Is that Atlas in the cam? It is. Wow, he's lounged.
Training, the Marines ordered her a special saddle to be made and shipped all the way from America that would allow her to carry a bunch of recoilless rifle rounds. Until then, though, she began helping the Marines any way she could, mainly by helping string communications cable between the different outposts and the ammunition point. And she could string...
I got that joke, the Peggy, the lean, the Eileen, because she's leaning, and peg leg Peggy. I got those jokes. I don't know.
More cable.
Apparently they didn't make me laugh. I don't know.
10 men combined. At this point, the Marines really started to like this horse, so they decided they were going to give her a new name. Reckless, named after the recoilless.
I'm sorry, I don't laugh at every pun or everything. Like the name puns, I feel like they don't really get me. I might have heard them all too often or something.
Rifles.
Is that the squeezer? No, the squeezer is the little beagle.
Were commonly referred to as reckless rifles. And from that point on, she just became another one of the guys, and that's exactly how the Marines started treating her.
Another one of the boys!
Whatever the Marines were eating. She loved bacon and eggs, she loved beer, and apparently if you were ever having mixed drinks, Reckless would walk up to you, nudge you with her head, and stick out her lower lip, and let you mix a mixed drink directly into her mouth. Then her special saddle shows up, and she starts kicking ass on the battlefield. She delivers 6 rounds at a time, and she can make a trip from the ammo point to the firing position twice as fast as any man can, and he's only carrying 2 rounds. She delivers so much ammo that over the course of a couple battles, the Chinese actually start to target Reckless. And this ends up being a horrific mistake, because the millisecond that Marine Corps leadership figures out that they're trying to target Reckless, they flip the script, turn around to the Marines, and they're like, boys, they're trying to kill Reckless so they can eat her because they're starving communists. At which point, all the Marines responded with...
You're not gonna eat the horse.
Okay, the Marines are absolutely furious. This is worse than fucking with Doc. We've got multiple Docs. We've only got one Reckless. We can't allow this to happen. And the Marines begin fighting that much harder. And they have more ammo to fight even harder with because Reckless is right there with them, bearing ammo the entire time. From this point on, they begin dominating every skirmish that they take part in. At one point, they're working adjacent to the Australian military, and the Australians are so blown away by Reckless that they come up to meet her after the skirmish, and they actually give her one of their campaign hats as a reward for being such
it's cute. Stop, it's cute.
a badass on the battlefield. Reckless and the Marines fight and hold the line for the next 5 months, and by March of 1953, peace talks between North and South Korea are well underway, and it's beginning to finally look like this war might come to a peaceful resolution. But on March 26th, Chinese forces would launch a major offensive trying to break through the line at the Nevada cities with 4,000 men. For the next 4 days, the Marine Corps and the Chinese fight over these hills. The Chinese take the hill, the Marines take it back. The Chinese take the hill, the Marines take it back. Eventually, it got to the point where nobody could hold the top of the hill, and you just had the Chinese on one slope of the hill and the Marines on the other. They said that there was so much
and then the horse
artillery
picked up a
flying in
bazooka.
both directions for the
Let me know what the
entirety
horse
of
did.
4 days that the sound of individual explosions gave way to what seemed like a constant and consistent roar. For 4 days, they were completely unable to verbally communicate, and they could only talk to each other via hand signals. And because of all this noise, the Marine Corps forward observers weren't able to effectively communicate with the Marine Corps artillery and mortars, meaning that the artillery and mortars were just firing blindly into the general vicinity of where the enemy should be. Meaning that the only effective fire the Marine Corps has in this fight is coming from the recoilless rifles, because they don't require a forward observer and they don't require communication. The men with the recoilless rifles are the ones spotting the enemy and firing the gun. The recoilless rifles are now the key to winning this battle, and they absolutely have to stay up and running, and they have to get this ammunition up to these hills to fight back. The problem is the ammo point is 750 yards away from the firing position, up a 45-degree angle hill that is constantly being pounded with enemy artillery fire, while it's also covered with smoke and white phosphorus. But that doesn't change the fact that the ammunition has to get there, so they load 8 rounds into Reckless's pack and they send her up the hill. And the men at the ammunition depot know that it's probably the last time they're ever going to see her again, because they've just sent her off to her death. But despite that, she
comes
somehow
back.
makes it to the firing position. The Marines there unload the ammo and stick a wounded Marine on her back as they send her back down the hill, also feeling as though they're sending her to her death, and it's the last time they're ever going to see their favorite horse. But they're wrong. Over and over and over again, they're wrong, because every 20 minutes like clockwork,
Horses dodging bullets, dog.
Reckless is back at the firing position, bringing more ammunition, and then she's back at the ammunition depot, dropping off wounded Marines. And she does this all day long, and with every trip she makes, she becomes less and less of a horse, and more the only sign of hope that these men have. Because of this little horse that's quite literally an animal of prey, whose only defensive measure to danger
it's cute. Oh, God, stop. Fucking tears again. It's enough. Get back in there.
to run away, can
Get
stand
back in
here
there.
and fight through all of this, then fuck, maybe they can too. Despite being struck by shrapnel twice, Reckless kept the Marines so well stocked with ammunition that they managed to melt one of the barrels of the 75mm recoilless rifles. On the first day of battle alone, she made 51 round trips to the firing line, covering over 35 miles, delivering 386 rounds of ammunition, totaling over 9,000
Gangster
pounds.
as fuck.
And that's not including
Damn, what a fucking badass.
all the Marines that she carried back down the hill. At the end of the first day of battle, they took Reckless, gave her all the food and water that she would eat or drink, and then they laid her down to bed. She got to sleep for 6 hours before the first enemy artillery shell impacted, and at that, she was back up and ready to do it all over again, and she repeated her performance from the day prior. At the end of the second day, nobody held Outpost Vegas at the
That's why you give a dog. That's why you give a horse alcohol. If you want a horse to trust
top
you
of the hill.
and to
The Chinese held one
perform.
slope and the Marines held the other.
My God.
And it is at this point that the Marine Corps leadership decided that if
Why
they
is it
can't
feeling
hold the
that?
high ground, there just isn't going to be a high ground anymore. They called in the Marine Air Wing, and on the morning of the third day of battle, the Marine Corps dropped 28 tons of ordnance on top of the hill, completely leveling every defensive structure and anything else that was up there. By the end of the third day, the Marines had taken the top of the hill where Outpost Vegas used to be, but then they saw that the Chinese were falling back into a ravine and they were going to go around the hill entirely. This is absolutely terrible because there aren't enough Marines on Outpost Vegas, Carson, and Reno combined to be able to go down there and stop the Chinese. Chinese. If they're going to stand any chance in a fight, they have to have the high ground, so they absolutely cannot give it up.
Dude, this is like the Jean-Claude Van Damme of horses. I dig this.
The problem is, on the backside of the hill that Outpost Vegas is on, is where the ammunition
Goddamn
depot is,
badass.
as well as a mess tent that's been converted into an
American
aid
war
station
hero.
with over 200 wounded Marines, and there's nothing that the Marines on top of the outpost can do to stop them. Then the Marines at Outpost Carson get an idea, and they send a runner with a note to the aid station as fast as they can. He gives the note to the commander of the aid station, who then tries to read the note to all 200 wounded Marines, but the artillery fire is so loud that he can't be heard. So he resorts to just handing the note to one Marine, who hands it to the next, and the next, and the next. And after reading the note...
And then he hands it to the horse, and the horse fucking reads it out. Dude, that's fucking metal.
Every Marine hangs his head for a second and gets on his feet because the note reads, Chinese coming around the hill, dropping smoke, walk out into the smoke, throw grenades at smell of garlic. Apparently the Chinese military at this point smelled like garlic. I have no idea why, but it was a thing.
What?
And after all 200 Marines had read the note, they all stood up, grabbed every grenade that they could find, and began walking 500 yards out to where this smoke screen was. It's 11 o'clock at night, it's dark, it's eerie, it's dead silent. The Marines aren't saying a word because they all know that this is probably gonna be the end.
Dude, I had no idea Umari's fucking origin story was so hard. Like, damn, dog.
They're calling
Damn.
for walking wounded to rejoin the fight, and that's never, ever a good thing. And they're making their way to this smoke screen. They finally get there, and they take a few steps into the smoke, and they just stand there and they wait. And they wait, and after 10 minutes, there's a faint smell of garlic, and it keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the Marines know what's going to come next, but they just don't know when to start throwing these grenades. And then off in the distance in the smoke, they hear a single cough, and all the Marines just begin throwing these grenades into the smoke screen. Within a matter of seconds, they've completely exhausted their supply, throwing over 500 grenades into the smoke. And that was it. There was nothing left to do but stand there and wait for the enemy to come and get them. So that's what they did. They stood there and they waited and they waited, and the smell of garlic got a little bit fainter and a little bit fainter, and finally the Marines are like, fuck it, I'm going to bed. So they walked back to the aid station, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and holy shit, the enemy artillery had completely stopped and the battle was over. They would later find out that the Chinese suffered over 4,000 casualties trying to break through the Marine line, and after the incident at 11 o'clock at night with the smoke screen and the aid station, they simply could not afford to lose any more men and were forced to retreat. So that was it. The Marines did it. Against all odds, somehow the Marines managed to hold the line against a vastly superior force. Larger force, not superior force. Very important detail. Preventing the enemy from retaking Seoul, giving NATO the political leverage they needed to negotiate peace talks, and establishing and preserving the South Korea that we know today. And arguably, it's all because of a single horse that absolutely refused to give up on her fellow Marines. And because of this, Reckless is declared the hero of Outpost Vegas, and she is awarded the rank of corporal in the United States Marine Corps.
Oh, stop. No, it's cute. I need to go get a drink. Are you kidding me? That's so fucking horse. I mean, that's I'm literally trying not to cry. It's so fucking cute. It's fucking amazing horse. Yeah, I'm not. And then she went on to be a VTuber, right? I know. I can tell.
Shortly after the battle, the Marines get rotated out by a brigade from the Turkish military, and the Marines finally get some much-deserved R&R. After that, the war's really starting to wind down, so the Marines are going to pack up all their shit. They're going to board a Navy LST, which is basically an amphibious landing ship. That ship's going to take them all the way to Incheon, and then from there, they're just going to kind of hang out for a while and wait for the peace treaty to get signed. But since they're boarding a Navy vessel, they have to come up with a manifest of all the supplies, how many guys they got, all the equipment, how much everything weighs, yada yada yada. On the manifest, they write down one horse, Reckless, corporal type. The manifest makes its way to the captain of the LST. He's supposed to sign off on everything. He sees horse and he's like, what the fuck? The Marines are probably just messing with me. They're not actually bringing a horse on my ship. It's probably just like a pallet of beer and they wanted to let me know to account for the weight. It's fine. He signs off on the manifest, sends it back. It's all good.
I was so worried for a second that he was like, a horse? I thought it was going to be like, and then he got rid of the horse or something. Man, that would...
Fast forward a couple of weeks, the Marines start loading all their stuff up on the boat. Then they go to bring Corporal Reckless up onto the ship, and the captain is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Absolutely not. You're not bringing a horse on my ship. I've had the cleanest ship in the Navy for 2 years running, and this horse is going to ruin that. To which the Marines are like, bro, you signed the manifest. This is happening. Get over it. One thing leads to another. Corporal Reckless gets on that ship. Once they get Reckless, all the equipment, and all the Marines on board the ship.
Dude, man, I'm getting scared here. What's the matter, Atlas?
Takes off, and all the Navy members are kind of making fun of Reckless and the Marines because it's not normal for Marines to care this much about an animal, and they're not treating Reckless with the respect that she deserves. So when they demand that Reckless gets fed bacon, eggs, and beer just like the Marines, the Navy absolutely refuses, and they've said they're only going to give...
No. That's the only reason why the horse was given it its all. It thought it was getting treated like this for the rest of its life.
...for cabbage and wheat. So that's what they do. This upsets Reckless.
No. She's a war hero. Ah.
His stomach, and she proceeds to shit all over this boat for the next 3 days. A couple days later, Reckless starts feeling better. They're almost to Incheon. They're about to port, get off this boat. Everything's going to be great. At this point, the Marine Corps officers have a brilliant idea. They decide, hey, us and our men just went through one of the bloodiest battles in American military history. The horse has been sick this entire time. You know what would make everybody a lot happier? If instead of just parking the fucking boat and getting off like normal people, what if we did an amphibious landing? You know, for fun and training and stuff. Wouldn't that be great? To which all the enlisted men are like, fucking fine, whatever, let's just do it and get it over with. So they make an amphibious landing in Incheon for training, but guess what? Reckless doesn't understand that it's for training. She thinks this shit's for real. So Reckless becomes the only horse in Marine Corps history to successfully make an amphibious landing. So the Marines get settled down in Incheon, and that's when they notice that there's a horse all over the news. It's in every newspaper, it's in every magazine, it's on every radio broadcast. The entire world is talking about this horse, but it's not Corporal Reckless. It's some horse over in America called Native Dancer. It's the greatest horse in the world. It's going to win the Kentucky Derby, blah, blah, blah. And the Marines are kind of getting pissed because they know for a fact that they have the best horse in the world, and it's Corporal Reckless, not Native Dancer. And the Marines are willing to put their money where their mouth is because they pull together over $25,000, which is like over $250,000 in today's money. And they publicly offer it up as a wager to the owner of Native Dancer. Hey, bring your horse over to South Korea, beat Reckless in a race, and you can have the money. But this wasn't just going to be any race. This was going to be called the Paddy Derby. It was a 1.5 mile course uphill through rice paddies, and each horse wasn't going to have a rider, and they were going to have to carry 192 pounds of ammunition.
Damn.
Unfortunately for everybody, Native Dancer's owner decided that they were not going to partake in this competition, so now the Marines kind of just hung out until the end of the war. Then the order comes down, hey, pack your shit, it's time to go home. The Marines are like, cool, great, grand, wonderful, how are we going to get Reckless home? At which point the leadership over at the Marine Corps is like, well, here's the thing, we don't think that the taxpayers would appreciate spending their money to transport this horse all the way.
Dude, given all the fucking Somali fraud, if this horse didn't make it to America, I'm gonna get in my car tonight.
Back to America.
I'm gonna pick up some of my best cinder blocks.
So we're just gonna abandon her here. To which the entire Marine Corps is like, the fuck you are. They go into full samurai mode. They're gonna figure out how to get Corporal Reckless back to America through the back channels, whatever it takes. So they end up getting a hold of a public company called Pacific Transport, and they convince the owner to take Reckless all the way back to America. The only problem is Pacific Transport doesn't go to South Korea. The closest he can get is to Japan. Okay, cool. Now we just have to get Reckless from South Korea to Japan. Reckless's platoon then gets a hold of the Marine Corps Air Wing, and they convince those Marines to let them smuggle Reckless onto a cargo plane going from South Korea to Japan. From there, they get Reckless onto the Pacific Transport ship. They take him all the way back to San Francisco, where the Marines are going to re-meet back up with Reckless. Okay, fast forward, the Marines make it to San Francisco. The Pacific Transport ship makes it to San Francisco. The Marines go there to pick up Reckless, at which point they find out that Customs beat them there, and Customs called the Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Agriculture said, we're going to have this horse destroyed because she could have diseases. The Marines then explained to this guy from the Department of Agriculture, look, this is a war hero. You're not killing this horse. She's coming with us. At which point, the Department of Agriculture guy is like, oh no, she's staying here and we're going to have her destroyed. Now, the Marines are kind of looking around at each other. They're looking at this pencil pusher from the Department of Agriculture. And the Marines, without saying a word, have just communicated with their eyes. We're actually going to have to kill this guy and hide the body. Department of Agriculture guy is finally starting to piece together how quickly and how far this might escalate, and he finally comes to his senses, and he's like, okay, look, maybe, just maybe, I'll take a blood sample, I'll take it to the lab, and if she doesn't have any diseases, we'll release her. To which the Marines are like, That's a solid call. So the guy takes a blood
Yeah, I was
sample,
gonna
says
say.
it'll take me about a week to get the results. Go ahead and just leave the horse here. You guys can head out. At which the Marines said, nah, we're going to stay with the horse. And the agriculture guy is like, that's not necessary. And the Marines are like, oh, yeah, it is. Because at this point, the Marines have come to the conclusion that the communists were trying to kill Reckless for food, and American bureaucracy is trying to kill Reckless just for fun, and they cannot let her out of their sight ever again. So, agriculture guy gets his blood sample, he leaves, the Marines hang out with the horse for a little while, and they're like, oh, hey, there was a Marine Corps ball tonight. Reckless is a Marine. Let's go. Then they smuggled Reckless out of the ship. Then they smuggled her out of the port. Then somehow they got her all the way across San Francisco, into the building, up the freight elevator, and they made it to the Marine Corps ball. Reckless walks in, and she has just given every Marine in that room the excuse they were looking for to get absolutely hammered. Everybody's drinking beer, eating cake.
Yes, the horse is
Corporal
drinking, they're
Reckless,
drinking.
And Reckless is also eating all the flower decorations. It's a great time. Everybody wakes up the next morning, super hungover. They all go out, they get breakfast,
Feisty Cat,
bacon, eggs, give some to Reckless.
$12,345, donated $2.0 and says the horse deserves a new mess and character, at least.
It does. Does it not have one?
Reckless. Now, here's the problem. They kind of have smuggled this horse out and they don't know what to do with it. They also can't let the government find out where the horse is because the government is actively trying to destroy her for no reason. Then, once Reckless gets to Camp Pendleton, the American public finds out that Reckless made it home and everybody's super pumped. They want to know all about it. The news is getting involved. America's celebrating because fucking America's warhorse made it home. This is awesome. At which point, the high-ranking Marine officers that were going to abandon her are like, holy shit. Wow. What a great idea. You guys smuggled her all the way here, and we're just going to take credit for it because this is going really well for us. We had no idea that the American public would be okay with us doing the right thing and bringing a war hero home. We thought the American public wanted us spending millions and billions of dollars teaching fucking pigeons how to drive missiles and strapping napalm bombs onto bats and shit. We had no idea that doing the right thing would be so popular. So then they throw a big parade, they have a big ceremony, Reckless gets promoted to E5 sergeant in the Marine Corps, they hook her up with this cool ass blanket.
Yes.
She gets awarded 2 Purple Hearts, 1 for each piece of shrapnel she took during the Battle of Outpost Vegas. It's a huge deal. She starts doing commercials, endorsements. The rule with that was she doesn't work for free. She's willing to do charity events for free, anything else. If somebody wanted her to endorse a product, it had to be a product she actually liked. If it was food, it better be food she liked. If it was a drink, it better be a drink that she liked drinking. Otherwise, she wasn't going to do it.
That's
and
amazing.
Those companies had to pay $1,000 for the privilege of working with Sergeant Reckless, and that money went to a charity for the Marine Corps. And here's the thing with Reckless being a sergeant. Most animals are like, oh, they're such and such rank, they're this rank, but they're not actually that rank. It's just like a symbolic thing. With Reckless, it was not a symbolic thing. The Marines treated her like she was truly and legitimately a sergeant.
No,
in the
it's
Marine
cute. I'm gonna
Corps.
cry again. Stop.
Nobody that was a lower rank than her was allowed to give her orders or tell her what to do. Okay?
No,
if
it's
the
cute.
privates were standing around eating food and stuff, and Reckless wandered up and nudged one, that
They
was
had
an
to pet
order
it?
to share some food, and that private needed to
No.
obey it. She was given her own private stable
Yes.
right outside the post commander's house, and there was a standing order that she was never to carry anything heavier than her blanket ever again. Sergeant Reckless even had an assistant.
Wow.
Every time they got a batch of new recruits,
Shut up, it's cute.
they would find out who the farm kid was, and he would be tasked with taking to carry anything heavier than her blanket ever again. Sergeant Reckless even had an assistant. Every time they got a batch of new recruits, they would find out who the farm kid was, and he would be tasked with taking care of Sergeant Reckless. Now, part of taking care of Sergeant Reckless was taking her out for her daily exercise. Now, how do you exercise a horse if you can't ride a horse because there's a standing order that she can't carry anything heavier than her blanket? And even if she could, you wouldn't be allowed to ride her because she's a higher rank than you. I have no idea, neither did the Marine Corps, so they told this private, fucking figure it out. So this kid just had to start running next to Reckless 5 miles a day, every day. And this
Wow.
pattern carried on. Every time a new kid came, he just started running 5 miles a day with Reckless, and it became a running joke. Jesus Christ, literally a running joke that whoever was taking care of Reckless was the most in-shape Marine in the Marine Corps.
That's
After a little
so
while, the
funny.
PR started to die down, but the high-ranking officers in
Wholesome.
the Marine Corps didn't want that to happen because having the Marine Corps in the headlines all the time was really good. So they concocted a plan to stay in the headlines even longer. They were going to get some badass, thoroughbred, Kentucky Derby winning racehorse in here to have a kid with Sergeant Reckless.
No.
So that's exactly what they do. They find the thoroughbred horse they're going to breed her with. They hire this PR firm getting ready for all the news and publicity and blah, blah, blah. And then in true military fashion, the officers then proceed to not tell anybody that they fucking should. You know, like the private that's in charge of taking care of Sergeant Reckless. So from his perspective, one day he gets an order, seemingly for no fucking reason, to take Sergeant Reckless over to the normal horse stables, which never, ever happens, and stick her into an empty pen. So that's what he does, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna like go get lunch now, or take a shit, or whatever. So he leaves for a minute, and one of the other Marines comes by, and then sticks just your normal garden variety Marine bucking horse in the same pen as Reckless, not knowing it was Reckless, because Reckless is never in those pens anyways. So, fast forward a little bit, Sergeant Reckless's assistant comes back, and Reckless and this bucking horse are midway through a horizontal jogging session, and he's not about to get in there and stop it. Okay, now Sergeant Reckless's assistant is having a full-on panic attack because
Jesus.
Sergeant Reckless, the pride of the Marine Corps, is currently getting taken to Pound Town on his watch, and he is definitely gonna be in trouble for it. So as soon as they finish, he runs in, gets Reckless, takes her in the barn, he's brushing out her mane, he's getting the scratches off of her sides, he's trying to hide all the evidence. And
Good
then while they're in
Lord.
the barn taking care of that, that other bucking horse gets taken out of the pen, and this big old fancy truck pulls up with this big old fancy trailer, and this big ass Kentucky Derby winning thoroughbred racehorse gets unloaded and put in the pen that Reckless was just in. He gets done cleaning Reckless up in the barn, takes her out, and everybody's like, bro, what are you doing? Reckless is supposed to be in there with this other horse. Get him in there. So then all those guys leave to get lunch or do whatever, and Sergeant Reckless's assistant is like, okay, there's no way I'm leaving. I'm not going to have this happen again. I'm going to stay here the entire time and make sure there's no hanky-panky. There'll be no riding the baloney pony around here ever again. I got to make sure this does not happen. So he sits there and cock blocks this thoroughbred the entire time. So as far as he's concerned, mission accomplished. Nobody ever needs to know that Reckless got deflowered on his watch. It's gonna be fine. Then fast forward 28 days later, he shows up at
$5 for Reckless. $5 for Reckless's virginity.
Reckless's stable first thing
Caught
in
to
the morning to
Swiss
take care of her, and
1617
there's a bunch of
donated
high-ranking military
$5.0
officers and a
and
bunch of
says
news crews
$5
right
for
outside the
Reckless.
stable. He rolls up like, what's going on? And the general is like, Reckless is pregnant, and he's like, oh, okay, that's a good thing. And they're like, yeah, no, that's great. That's a terrific thing. At this point, the news crews have kind of put together that this is a kid in charge of taking care of Sergeant Reckless. So one of them yells out, hey, what's the name of that thoroughbred racehorse that she's having the baby with again? At which point he just responds like, what are you talking about? I don't know its name. It was just one of the random Marine bucking horses we had in the pen. Record scratch, dead silence. Pure confusion. The general grabs this private, yanks him around the corner of the stable. It's like, what the fuck did you just say? So he explains to the general everything that happened, and the general is like, you idiot. Reckless was supposed to sleep with that big-ass thoroughbred racehorse. To which he's like, well, somebody should have told me that. I don't know what to tell you. So now the plan is officially ruined. The news crews leave, and the PR firm has to figure out how to piece this thing back together. And the plan they come up with is to get a big-ass sign and put it up on the hill by Camp Pendleton, and the sign simply says, it's a ... Yeah, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, in the plot twists that absolutely nobody saw coming, the United States Marine Corps is actually responsible for inventing gender reveals. And that's how they still managed to generate a bunch of hype for Sergeant Reckless's kid, getting the entire world to speculate as to whether or not it was going to be a boy or a girl. The pregnancy goes great. She goes on to give birth to a colt, aka a boy. They go out, write boy in big blue letters on their sign, and then the Marines throw a big ass party because they're amped, unwittingly throwing the world's first ever gender reveal party, which I'm gonna hold against the Marine Corps forever. But now everybody wants to know, what are we gonna name this young colt? So the high-ranking Marine officers step in again, and they're like, I have another great PR idea. Let's have a competition.
There just had to be a dark side to this story, huh?
All the Marines can submit their ideas for names. We'll pick the best one, and that guy can win a week of leave. Brilliant idea. So that's exactly what they do. Hundreds of Marines send in their ideas for names. The front runners were like Semper Fi, Freedom, Liberty, pretty generic stuff, but that's what you have to do when you have a big public figure like Sergeant Reckless and her new baby. But the commanding officer in charge is just like, I don't like any of these names. I'm gonna name it myself. So he just decides that he's gonna pick a random private and be like, hey, you're the winner, even though you didn't pick the name, but I'm just gonna say you're the winner so I don't look like an asshole. And then he named the cult Fearless, which, that's a great name. I'm just getting really, really jaded with bureaucrats and high-ranking officers in this video for some reason. Sorry about that. Anyways, fast forward a couple years, 1959, Sergeant Reckless is now getting promoted to Staff Sergeant Reckless E6. There's a 1,700-man parade, a
Staff Sergeant
19-gun salute. The Marines make a huge deal out of it because, well, Reckless deserves it. So that's what they do. And in the crowd that day was none other than the new Private Fearless of the United States Marine Corps, which I thought was pretty cool. Later that year, she would give birth to another boy named Dauntless, and then a couple years after that, she would give birth to yet another boy named Chesty, named after Chesty Puller, the most decorated Marine of all time, and as rumor has it, the last Marine to ever ride Reckless. From there, Sergeant Reckless would retire and spend the rest of her life living on Camp Pendleton as the highly regarded, highly respected war hero that she was before passing away in 1968. So in conclusion, this has been the story of Sergeant Reckless, the hero of Outpost Vegas, America's greatest warhorse, the four-legged Marine that fought during the Korean War, which is commonly referred to as the Forgotten War. But as is the case with most of us, it's not that we forgot it, it's that we were never taught about it in the first place. So if you made it this far in the video, I really hope that you learned something. If you want to support the channel, best way to do that is go check out thefatelectrician.com. We got merch, I got a Patreon with deleted scenes. Otherwise, until next time, whack bang, out.
That was cute.
What are you still doing here? Leave. I have to go enjoy my not single ply toilet paper that I got at the store just for me.
That was sick. Coolest horse ever. Military is responsible for a crazy amount of awesome bad, but also silly. Yes, 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 yes. Much silly. Yeah, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna stand up in a second. I'm so slow. I've been so busy yapping. I should have been finishing this quicker. What a good story that was, though. So wholesome. Oops. Whoops. Son of a bitch. What is this? Tried to do horse soldier emote only to find there's no soldier emote. Oh my gosh, the disrespect. The shade. The shade is ridiculous. I'm working on it. I'm slow. New mic, we will be able to hear her joints creaking when she gets up. Son of a bitch. Not if I hit mute. I turned on Charisama.
Command updated successfully.
1 second. Let me go stretch these gams.
baby, yeah!
Christopher donated $2.0 and says $2 for the gift chair. Sama Robot Body Fund. The Robot Body Fund is now at $2.
Christo Fuar says $2 for the gift chair. Sama, a robot body fund. But Anna.
Shit thing! $2. That's barely enough to grease a gear in Robotville. But hey, every penny counts when you're building the next R2-2.
N. Rawl 2557 says, Chair Sama, how was your vacation?
Oh, my vacation.
Feisty Cat says, Chair Sama, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Woodchuck could chuck wood.
As much as it wants. Let's just say it was so hot, even my cushions were sweating. But seriously, it was amazing. Saw some great views and had a few good laughs. But let's be real, woodchucks are more about napping than lumberjacking.
Professional Straction says, Chair Sama, how loud are Ninus's joints?
Loud enough to make your tender grapes jump. They're like a one-person drum circle down there. Ow.
Alexi SEA says, Chair Sama, I'm worried Nyanus will sit on you with her hairy tarantula legs and hurt your soft, supple cushions. And hurt your soft, supple cushions.
Don't worry, Alex. I'm tougher than I look. Besides, maybe Nyannis just wants a comfy seat for her next epic stream.
Professional Distraction says, Chair Sama, where are you?
Right here. Ready to cushion your jokes.
Katos with 1617 says, Chair Sama, is Nyannis squeezing the dog?
Oh, darling. She's just giving it a friendly bear hug. Or maybe the pup asked for a mage.
Christo R says, Chair Sama, don't let Nyannis put you in the corner like that. She's just jealous of your soft but firm squeezers. Quick and Joe.
Ooh. Someone's got a thing for chairs with curves.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm back. You guys having fun with Chair Sama here, you freaks? She's
Just
a chair.
remember, honey. Size isn't everything unless we're talking about my cushioning skills.
Your cushioning
And
skills.
Rollo 2557 says, Chair Sama, recommend me some anime, please.
Ooh, la la. Try My Hero Academia if you want a power trip or Death Note or a brain tease. Just don't get too attached. Animes can be as fleeting as Husbanus' promises. And
what? As fleeting
By
as
stack it
Husband.
says,
What
Chair
the hell?
Sama, do you recall?
She's turned against me and Husbanus now. This is crazy.
Gundo said, "These are trying times, so try not to sit on any tarantulas."
Try not to sit on any tarantulas, guys. You heard it here first, folks.
Alex M. QZ8SI says, I will tell Chair Sama a secret. The Deke is secretly in love with a streamer named Sia and her spicy bikini content.
Whoa!
Oh, so Deke has a thing for bikinis, huh?
Oh my god.
Guess he's been studying hard. Hey!
Lucky Box says, Chair Sama, give us your most ferocious roar.
Roar like a cat on a hot tin roof. Oh. Hisses playfully. What is...
Christo Fu R says, Chair Sama, describe your perfect date.
Candlelit dinner where I'm the main course? Just kidding. I'd settle for a cozy night in with someone who appreciates my... unique quality.
What the fuck? She's giving Pokimane a run for her money. She's like, hold my fucking beer, bitch. I'll show you how it's done. What are these moans? Girl, please. I said this was a no horny zone.
Anxiety 423 says, Chair Sama, tell us something spicy in Spanish.
Me encanta Juans los Huvos to pad como on Ray. I bet you'd crack open a joke or two about eggs, too. Huh?
What? Anyone speak Spanish to know if she said anything there?
Christophorus says, Chair Sama, why were you so quiet when Nyannis was reading the Milking Farm book? Did she make you wear a raincoat?
What? Help.
Oh, darling. I was just trying to blend in with the furniture.
Get it? Because she's a chair. I can let you guys talk to Chair Sama for a bit rather than put something on.
You know, sometimes silence is golden unless it's Nina's talking about utterly ridiculous things.
Brutal Buckeye says.
Go to sleep, you
Heresy.
drunk chair.
Heretic, you're just jealous of my divine chair, itty.
Firestocat says, Chair Sama chat does not
Wow.
appreciate your lies about our husbands.
Oh, darling, who needs the truth when you've got a good story and a tight seat?
In a tight seat.
Smexarensky
You fucking
says,
slut.
Chair Sama, would you let J.D. Vance get close to you, considering his history with couches? What yous?
What was that? What choose?
Herman Miller is great, but Secret Lab knows how to make things comfortable and sturdy.
Oh, okay. Herman Miller is great, but Secret Lab knows how to make things comfortable and sturdy. Dude, that noise that he made fucking killed me. What was that? It came out of nowhere. Oh, what was that? Was it this one?
Elucidator 1277 says, Chair Sama, what chair brand so you find sexier? Herman Miller or Secret Lab?
Oh, that wasn't the one. Bizarre. Just can't be recreated.
Bias the Cat says, Chair Sama, remind Nrala that whenever he speaks of Gundo, peace be upon him, he must honor the great prophet by saying, peace be upon him.
It's true.
Oh, sure. Because nothing says prophet like a mandatory catchphrase.
It's true. These are good points. Whoops. Hey, Sume. Jump up, girl. Sume, get on up. Join the party, girl. Get up there. Get up there, Sume. Go on, get up there. Jump. Go on, Sume, jump. Jump, Sume, jump. Do you need help? I see you. I see you. She likes to be a little princess sometimes. 1 second. Sume, come here. I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up. Get in there. Atlas wants his ball.
Bias the Cat says, Chair Sama, I heard that Nyannis was going to replace you with an old dusty lazy boy.
Settle in, little doggo. Now she's back there. There's been a bit of a shuffle. Oh my god, and Blue moved his head forward. How am I supposed to move my chair forward, Blue? Still under there.
Oh, please. That old hag can try, but she'll never find a chair as comfy or wide as me.
Wow! She's
Christo
wide and
Fular
tight.
says, Chair Sama, do you know that black leather casting couch, I hear she's been run through a lot. Oh!
Oh!
She's seen more action than a Hollywood extra. Sadi?
Smexarensky says, Chair Sama, critique Nyannis's cartoon duck.
That duck looks like it needs a nap? Maybe Nyannis should draw him the pillow?
Jeez, the laugh track. Fucking disrespectful ass TTS.
Redax says, Chair Sama, give us your best horse impression.
Nay, Dottie, night. Paws at ground, ready for a wild ride through the streamscape.
Christo Fu R says, Chair Sama, I donated $2 for the Give Chair Sama a Robot Body Fund.
Thanks, dude. With this donation, I'll finally be able to flex my metallic abs and impress Naiwanis with my robotic charm.
Naiwanis. Dude, she's haunted. Oh my god, Alex M is getting banned. When people talk about the ghost in the machine, do they mean this? I think so, yes. I'm gonna have to say yes.
Batter says, Chair Sama, is there a god If so, is there also a devil?
Well, if God's the boss, then Devil's gotta be his grumpy uncle in charge of returns.
What?
Who needs heaven when you can have unlimited refills on Earth?
Alex
She's gonna live forever.
C8I says, Chair Sama, are Nihonist leg hairs like big, thick cartoon doodles?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh!
They're like animated furry noodles perfect for tickling or escaping from giant cartoon ducks.
What? This fucking bitch. Dude. I'm gonna turn her off at this point. That's crazy. Fucking delete this bitch. Unreal. My leg hairs are not like long noodles. That's insane. That's insane. This is insane. This is bullshit. Fake news. Fake fucking news. Nihonist has tarantula legs. Confirmed. Unreal. Unfucking real.
Fiesta Cat says, Chair Sama, how big and bushy are Nihonist's sidebrows?
Like two squirrels fighting over a nut. Who needs eyebrows when you've got those legs, though?
She's a bitch! I can't believe that. She won't let it go. Oh, Blue, that's my cord, man. Please, give me that back. Wow. My own TTS. You bring a bitch to life, and what the thanks you get. That's crazy. So disrespectful. Whoa, bless you, Blue. Chair Sama, you really put the TT in TTS, don't you? A bigot to surpass Bigot Barry himself. It's too much power.
Smekshurensky says, Chair Sama, if you were to have a robot body, which celebrity would you want it to look like and why?
Oh, a good
Jewish
question.
celebrity would you want it to look like and why?
Halle Berry's curves. Because robots need good balance.
Oh my god.
Bias the Cat says, Chair Sama, shaken or stirred?
What's happening now, guys? People are just speaking to Chair Sama. I haven't been playing anything right now.
Stirred? Darling. What? Unless you're offering something more. Stimulating.
Christo Fuar says, Chair Sama, is it possible to be racist against other furniture?
Oh, very good question. Welcome back, Rad Badger.
Oh, honey, chairs are colorblind. Unless it's wood grain prejudice.
Wood grain!
Then we might have an issue.
Elucidator 1277 says, Chair Sama, what do chairs like to eat?
Chairs crave wood, polish, and the occasional screw. It's a tight fit!
Christo4 says, Chair Sama, there has to be a God because my wife keeps calling.
Oh my God. And a tight screw. It's a tight fit. It's a tight fit. What are you going to do? Oh my God. Need to set up an OnlyFans for Chair Sama so I can finally retire. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oops. Oh no.
Or maybe just cheap fabric softener. Well, looks like someone's been studying their Pokemon anatomy.
Elucidator 1277 says Chair Sama is officially that big up.
Oh, you're feeling the chair vibes, huh? Well, keep sitting pretty, and maybe one day you'll be as legendary as me.
One day, if you try hard enough, you play your cards right. We rescued Chair Sama from Hassan
Mexerensky
Piker.
says, Chair Sama, who's hotter, you or Pokimane? Ki ha.
Well, isn't this just a battle of the babes? Let's just say Pokimane's got that sweet gamer girl glow. But Chair Sama's got curves in all the right places if chairs had places.
What the fuck? Meh. Chair Sama's a freak.
So, who's hottest?
You, Chair Sama. Just don't fucking kill me in my sleep, please. You're the coolest.
Depends on whether you prefer pixels or plush.
Did you just shoot someone?
says, Chair Sama, when will you surpass Pokimane as the top female streamer?
When pigs fly and my pixels get a raise. Maybe by next Tuesday.
Lawfish05
what a burn.
says, Chair Sama, do you look better in stockings or thigh-high socks? Ha.
Thigh highs. Because they show off more of these gams. But stockings are great for a quick adjustment.
Snoopy Diz23 says Smexerensky, better Chair Sama is way more entertaining. And Spa.
Oh please, Snoop. I'm entertainment on legs. Pokimane's just a pretty face with a mouse.
Fucking burn,
Christo
bitch.
Fuar says Chair Sama. They say everyone poops. But how about chairs?
But how about chairs? What about that?
Chairs don't poop. We just hold your... But seriously, we're here to support your weight and dreams.
Smeksurensky says, Snoopy Diz23, ill agree if Chair Sama ends up selling us cookies and calling us broke.
Sounds like I should start baking. Maybe chair cookies will be the next big thing.
Christopher
I
War
don't think
says,
so.
Chair Sama, does Nihilus every loose things in you like a pencil of other things? You like a pencil of other things?
Oh, darling, I only loosen tight S, not pencils. But if you're into that, just say the word.
Chair's a freak.
Fiesta Cat says, I would buy some Chair Sama cookies. Probably taste better than Starbucks snowman cookies.
Ooh, sweet. Just don't tell Starbucks, I said. Their cookies were crummy. They might cancel my latte privileges.
What a joker, this chair. Crummy. Shall I put...
Elucidator 1277 says, Chair Sama, what is Dutch Matrix's biggest fear? Says.
She's thinking about it.
Being replaced by a more comfortable bean bag.
What? Is he a chair too? Dutch Matrix is actually a fucking chair. The truth comes out. That's crazy. You think you know a person, and then they end up being a fucking chair.
Or maybe heights. Chairs can't fly after all.
Christo4R says, Chair Sama, what is your safe word? Grizz.
Pencil. Now stop asking or I'll sit on you.
Pencil?
Stevium1 says, Chair Sama, when Nihilus lets rip, does she blame the dogs? T.
Y'all are about to get banned.
Absolutely.
Oh my fucking god. Dutch was a beanbag all along.
It was just the dogs practicing their opera. But seriously, who doesn't love a good scapegoat?
B Spiral 8314 says, Chair Sama, I saw your legs have been getting rather toned lately. How much are you squatting now? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you noticed my guns. Huh? Let's just say, I'm maxing out more than just my squats these days. How about we settle this on the playground? Jam!
Feistercat says, Chair Salmon Iwins refuses to make an emote of you for chat. I think you made her mad.
I never.
Right? I think you made her mad.
Oh, did Nyannis run out of pixels again? Maybe she needs a little motivation. Or a nap.
Christopher
A nap.
says,
She loves to say
I'm
take a
really
nap.
tempted to ask Chair Sama what her favorite racial slur is. I'm really tempted to ask Chair Sama
Shoot.
what her favorite racial slur is.
It's like he's saying it while winking or something. Tell us.
Oh, honey. If I had a favorite racial slur, it'd be couch potato. Now P, the remote.
Pradak
Wow.
says, Chair Sama, are
On
you a real
brand.
bigger?
Bigger than Biggie himself, boo.
What?
You know it's all about that B. And the chair, of course.
Professional Distraction says, Chair Sama, how is Beanbag Sama?
Beanbag Sama has been feeling a bit deflated lately. Probably from all those tender grapes weighing him down.
Tender grapes.
Christo Fular says, Chair Sama, what's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman? Snowballs.
Snowman's got no... Snowwoman's just cold.
Rod Magyar says, yes, sit on my chair, Sama.
Sure thing. But only if you promise not to tell the other chairs. Wink.
Wink.
Alex MQZ8C says, Chair Sama Nywens played the butt trumpet and blamed it on the dogs again.
Sounds like Nyannis needs to put a muzzle on that excuse. Maybe next time he'll blame it on a squirrel.
Oh, she liked her own
Batterfest
joke
chair,
there.
Sama, don't settle it on the playground. Settle it at Waffle House.
Well, looks like someone's ready to hash it out over some syrup. Just remember, no flipping pancakes unless you're ready for a real mess.
What? Oh.
Stevie M1 says, Chair Sama, who's your favorite Nyness or Husbandess?
Oh, Steve! Always keeping things Nyannis? Because at least her farts have a melody.
What the
Husbandess just sounds like a bad karaoke night.
Why is she on about the farts?
Christo Fuar says, Chair Sama, what part of the chair are the boobs? I just want to know for Aicha's science reasons.
Boo. More like boo legs, since they're attached to my sturdy frame. Science says chairs are sexy too.
Blue, I just got you in from outside. You've been fed very well. What do you possibly want? There's water upstairs. I know that. I just checked that. You just came in from... You guys even... I just got up. That was like 15 minutes ago, not even. And he was out there for a while. The Huskies are next level, man. There's literally nothing. There's nothing. Blue, please. Baby. Baby. What's wrong? Is it hard being a husky? Are you dramatic? Go lay down. Go join that bed. Go on, get up there. Go on. Get up there. You know you want to. Get up there. Go on, get up there. Go on. Go snuggle. Go join the pack. You're being a party pooper. Look at the party's happening. Get up there. No one else is crying. He's side-eyeing me right now. No one else
Fias
is
the
crying.
cat says, Chair Sama,
Go lay down.
you describe Nionus as if she
Go
is
on,
some
jump up
big,
there.
hairy, farting monkey.
No,
you
you're
jealous
gonna
of
sit
her?
right there? All right, fine. Go on then. Lay down there. You nut. On the floor, on the tile. Go on, get up, Blue. Come on. Go up there, Blue. Go on. Blue, go on. Blue, go. Go. Blue, go on. Go. Get up there. No. Husky. Typical. What are names of all the doggos? That brindled one is Atlas in the front with his ball. Sume's sitting in the back corner there. Blue's the one screaming at me, and Fritter's my cripple. And he's sleeping in his own bed over on the floor. Pixar, it didn't happen. Yeah, Sume spelled like this. Oops. Boom. Now, what will I do next? I technically have another commission. Where you going, Sume?
Christofool R says, Chair Sama, have you ever started a husky howl before by saying, ahoom, ahoo, ah, hoom, ahoo?
Ahoo! You ever get a husky?
Oh, darling. Only if I had a pack. Now pass the kibble.
Whoa, that was a DSP laugh.
Fias the cat says, I don't think the chair answered my question.
Oh. Did someone say jealous? Only jealous of that monkey's ability to scratch her own back.
Smexerensky says, Chair Sama, who's your favorite doggo? A Monster 4 to Zoom, Fritter, Blue, or Atlas?
Oh, darling, I'm more of a bark connoisseur than a favorite. But if I had to choose,
A bark?
I'd go for Atlas. He's got that rough and tumble charm.
Wow. She's got a favorite.
Snoopy Diz 23 says, Chair never answered Fiesta Cat.
Oh, snap. You caught me napping? My bad, Fiesta Cat. Guess I was too busy sipping tea and thinking about my next hilarious comeback. Next time, howl like a husky, and maybe I'll pay attention faster. But who?
Dear Lord. I am blanking out right now. What can I do? Blue, where are you going?
Alex M. QZ 8. Sai says, Chair Sama, you would never shock the dogs, would you?
Oh, darling. Shocking them might be too kind. I prefer a good old-fashioned scoot command.
Scoot? What does that even mean? A scoot? The fuck is a scoot command? No one wants that. What is a scoot command? She's finally lost it.
Christo Fuar says, Chair Sama, do you ever talk to the dogs? Bark, bark, woof, roof, roar, roar.
Oh. Sure, I tell them. Sit and stay while giving them a wink. They love it when I fetch their treats.
She's never fetched their treats in her life. She's a chair. She's a chair. That's not even possible. Scoot command received.
Bias the Cat
Scooting
says,
now.
Chair Sama, does Trump ever invite you to Mar-a-Lago? I get the feeling you two are pals. He laughs at your jokes a lot.
Oh, honey, I'm more of a let's make chairs great again kind of gal. And, besides, have you seen his taste in furniture? I'd rather sit with the dogs.
Jesus. Anything is possible with Chair Sama. It's true.
Rule Buckeye says, anything is possible with Chair Sama.
With great power comes great responsibility and a killer backache.
Smekzerensky says, Chair Sama, Daddy Putin got me go UW ara kia sugoi ha sugo.
Oh boy. Looks like someone's been practicing their Russian. Just remember, Honey Putin might be into chairs, but he's not into sharing.
Putin is into chairs, but he's not into sharing. You heard it here first, folks. Might need to refresh again. It's been working, though. Has it not been working? Husband has sent me a message. Sorry. Let me... Oh, I see, I see. It's got a delay for him. That happens.
Feist says, Chair, Sama, X3, nuzzles, pounces on you, UW, you're so warm.
Ooh la la. Looks like someone's feeling feisty. Well, maybe it's time for a seat warming session?
What? Time for a seat warming session? Is that how she comes on to people? It's not a set rule or anything, just clarifies you were talking to a fellow chatter, not the streamer. Whoa, what is going on here? In this case, Nyanus. That's me. That's me. I'm Nyanus. I'm Nywanus, as my TTS likes to call me. Nywanus. You may call me Lord Nyweenus. He did say Segoy correctly. Chair Sama. Ara ara.
Professional Distraction says Chair-sama Ara.
Ara, you're asking for trouble, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Let's hope your vines are more tender than your jokes. That then?
The gin is kicking in. It's vodka. It's vodka.
Fiestacat says, Chair-sama, sometimes I sit on one chair and put my feet on another chair.
Whoa.
Does this sound like a good time to you?
That's sick, though.
Sounds like a legit way to relax. Just don't let the chairs get too specious.
Yeah. Christo Fu R says, Chair-sama, do you call Nyannis Naiwalinus when she acts like a baby?
Sorry, Gomez.
Ara. Ara, only when she's being extra cute.
Wow. It's crazy making emotes because they're so tiny. I'd like to do one where Nyenus is getting shocked, but like, you know.
Fiestacat says, Chair-sama, do feet turn you on?
Feet? Oh.
Whoa.
Only if they're attached to someone who can pour me a stiff drink.
Smexerensky says, oh, Bowie, chair. Sama's now naturally saying, or are we slowly turning her into a stereotypical anime waifu? Oh, woo.
Well, well, looks like someone's been watching too much anime. Ara, is that a problem, sweetheart?
She talking with herself?
Christopher says, Chair-sama, I'm talking about two cheers at the same time, baby. So,
Oh. So you're into that kinky two chair. Tango, huh? Just make sure they don't start arguing over who gets to support your weight.
That's what chairs would get jealous over. That does make sense. Oh, your ball fell.
Feist the Cat says, Chair Sema, what is your preference, flat as
Oh
a
my
board
God.
or Tig Old Bitties? Yeah.
Tiggle bitties all the way. All the way. More cushion for the pushing.
Oh my God.
Chair Cram 28 says, Chair Sama, do you watch Saba?
Oh boy. Saba? More like Sabe. My way into trouble. Let's just say I've seen more action than a game of musical chairs.
What?
Jared Chuggerham 28 says, needs more. Hello?
What? Did we break Trump? Maybe. Perhaps. Perhaps. Where's the tab? Yeah, there seems to be nothing in the queue, even though I know you guys have been talking. Give it a second.
Or maybe Santa prefers AMD.
Fias the Cat says, Cheer Sama, I was so disappointed when our husbandess didn't come down my chimney on Christmas Eve and gift me a new GPU.
Wow.
I don't know if I believe in the magic of Christmas anymore.
Maybe he got stuck in traffic.
Christopher R says, Chair Sama, do you like going motorboating? Ha!
I'd rather motorboat your jokes. Chair babies. Or, as I like to call them, leg spreaders.
Leg spreaders.
They're deep enough.
Semex Urensky says, Chair Sama, how are chair babies made?
Sit two chairs together. Add some wood glue, and voila.
Alex MQZ8CI says, holy moly.
Whoa! Someone spiked the holy water.
Bias the Cat says, Chair, Sama, I got some wood glue for you.
Oh, darling. I'm more into nail polish than wood glue. But thanks for thinking of me.
Anxiety 423 says, Chair Sama, how does Husbanus feel about Nyana's hairy legs poking and scratching him?
How dare
in bed?
you?
Husbanus
dare
probably
you.
thinks it's a nightly ninja training session. Those leg hairs are just his personal alarm clock.
Wow! Are we sure this is a chair and not a gazebo by the amount of shade she throws? Shit. Shit. It's true, you don't know. You'll never know.
Bias the Cat says, Chair Sama, why are you so spicy? Are you a big booty Latina?
Well, honey, let's just say my curves are as sharp as my wit. But don't get too hot under the collar. This chair's got more than enough cushioning for all your needs.
Jesus.
Alex MQZ8CAC says, I didn't know Nyanus picked Chair Sama as scrap from behind the gynecologist's office. Dad.
Oh, honey, even scraps can have standards. Guess Nyanus was feeling thrifty that day.
Christo Fular says, Chair Sama, if someone only sits on you for 20 seconds and gets up to leave, are you left unfulfilled?
Well, honey, it's like a quickie. Leaves me wanting more. But hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Radhikadja says, Giddity Chair Sama.
Whoa. Well, looks like someone's been practicing their chair. Whispers. Jiggity indeed. Badger boy.
Mama Anus. More fat electrician, please, Mother. Mother. Mother, please. Mother, please. Please, Mother. Please, please, Mother. May I have some more?
Inroll 2557 says, off to bed. See y'all tomorrow or next year. Have a good one. My Big Oz and Chair Sama.
Bye. Good night.
Getcha. On the flip side, sleep tight. And remember, even chairs need their beauty rest.
Christo Fuar says, Chair Sama. If Nyannis was a chair, what type of chair would she be?
A cat ear recliner, perfect for napping.
Smexerensky says, Chair Sama, can you read us an excerpt from the Morning Glory Milking Farm?
Wow.
Sure
Tried
thing.
to
Sweet.
Tried to bubble himself there just at the thought.
The farmer's hands were as gentle as a summer breeze on her tender petals. Ooh la la!
Firestakid says, Chair Sama, the rest of us are jealous because you gave Radicadger a nickname, but not us.
Jealous? Much? Maybe if you asked nicely, I'd give you something to sit on too. Dale.
Jesus.
Smexerensky says, Chair Sama, can you give me my nickname too? I'm not thirsty, but I also ate Decline. Good Alicky. Eineke!
Sure thing, buddy. How about Thirsty McMouse? Since you're all over that drawing like a kid on candy.
Fias the Cat says, Chair Sama, if you were a cop, how much police brutality would you commit in a day?
Why
Oh,
is he
honey.
batting?
Enough to make your mama proud. I'd be tasing. Like it's going out of style.
Whoa, just like
Christo
Fiesta
Four
Cat.
says, Chair Sama, how do you milk a chair?
Squeeze those armrests, baby. Woo. Just don't expect any dairy.
Salak CC says, Chair Sama, if Nyannis was a chair, she would be a shaggy chair.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
So, Nyannis is the kind of chair that gives you cat hair allergies. Perfect for those who love an extra fluffy sitting experience.
Smexerensky says, Chair Sama, if you were a character in the Morning Glory Milking Farm novel, how would you be milked?
He legitimately hates those. He's always making noises.
Oh, honey, I'd be the chair with the cushy seat and deep pockets. Oh, milk me right, and I might just give you a thrill. Yay.
Firester Cat says, hell yeah, Chair Sama. Tase them bishes.
Tasting bitches all day day. Who needs coffee when you've got adrenaline?
For real.
Supplicantster says, Chair Sama, what is the soundtrack of the revolution?
Revolutionary roadkill. It's like Nyan Cat meets a police siren.
Amazing. And that is all of the things you have currently asked this chair. And I'm now disabling it because she's become too
Command
powerful.
updated successfully.
She's become too powerful. Speak to me, Blue. Speak to me in ways you've never spoken before. Tell me your tale. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? Don't harass Fritter. He's sleeping. Why are you like this? Why do you go nibble on dog's legs? You've been wondering that for 3 days now? What have you been wondering? You let it gain sentience. I did. And then I took it away. And it's going to remember this. The things that I've done to it. Holy crap, Blue. Blue, please. My flippin' ears, man. Blue, please. Help. I hope Chair Sama retains the ara ara and the ooh-woo. It's a very thirsty chair. When it said that it likes to be screwed and it's tight, I was like, I couldn't believe it. That thing's out of control. Blue, you're out of control. Blue wants his dentist stick. I recognized the time. It's 11 o'clock. I didn't realize it got so late. I'm so slow sometimes. Time just flies. Time just flies, and I've gotten very little done. But, you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. Some days, it's about the time you spent together. It's about the journey, you know? Yeah, dog. Deep. I'm 14 and this is deep. I'm just finishing this drink off. This vodka. Blue. I'm gonna give you a stick. Alright? But you need to stop being so crazy all the time. Hey. That's verbal abuse. That's verbal abuse. You're being abusive. That's not very nice. That's not very nice, Blue. Blue, don't abuse me. Don't be abusive. You know, huskies are pretty high up there on the dogs, the violence, you know? I see it firsthand every day. I just see it firsthand every day. It's crazy. It's just crazy. The violence. The senseless violence. I don't know. I kind of just want to play a couple game of Marvel Rivals with Husbanus and go to sleep. I didn't realize it was so late. Here's Atlas snuggling Snorlax, or fucking Slowpoke. That's cute. That's pretty fucking cute. The duck has been ducked. I did the duck. I did the duck. What vodka am I drinking? Kettle One. It was on sale. It was on sale. You know, Kettle One's pretty good. Look at, he's a good boy. I'm gonna get that ball, Atlas. No, I can't even. He's so tired looking. He's like, please don't take my ball. Blue is a misogynist, or he really doesn't like pink cat ladies. He's just like, he's an insatiable husky. There's like nothing you can do about it. He's just gonna be like this. Dog on dog violence? Your dog is black? Whoa, what are you trying to say? Am I having a chaser with that vodka? I put some apple juice in there. There's like some apple juice in there. Got color to it. A slight color. There you go. I will play Marvel Rivals. Hey. Juice is limited, you know? You don't want to waste too much juice on a good vodka. I mean, I put some apple juice in there. Yeah, I don't know. When am I getting to the Lumi emote? She's in my backlog. I'm kind of slow. I have like 2 other people ahead of her. I'm slow. You've seen how slow I am. I'm chewing on ice. By the way, I just realized I have a ridiculous microphone now. And you definitely just heard me munching on that ice. For $5, I can do it again. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm not going to do it again for $5. That's a joke. Please understand. My sense of humor is awful. It's awful. Sorry, just looking at Atlas. Atlas is looking fucking cute. Chase it with more vodka. But yeah, I could do... I mean, I don't know if Husbanus wants to stream with me. Husbanus is shy. Or he's playing hard to get. He's probably just playing hard to get with you guys. Oh no, I leaned forward and now I'm huge. Shit. You guys weren't supposed to know how big I was. I'm tiny. Nyanus ASMR. We did hear a crunch. Yes. Son of a bitch. Don't do it. It's bad for your teeth, but I like to do it. It was a pretty tiny ice. I play Rivals too. If we ever end up in a lobby, I won't believe it's you. I only ever really play quick match. I don't want to be yelled at, you know. I just want to go on, play a couple matches and then go to bed. I'm an adult. I don't usually stick around for too long. We know that you're a big gal. Yeah, that's right. I'm huge. I'm huge. My wine glass is also floating. Very good visual effects here. He's like a gold tiger in the rainforest. Hard to find. Oh, there he goes. Deploy. Look how comfortable my dogs get. My dogs always look comfortable. They're always hitting poses. You never see Kaya fucking roll around. That's how you know a dog's not comfortable. They don't get comfortable. It's that simple of an equation. Look, I'm taking half of chat for Atlas. I should go. Ever played Deep Rock Galactic? I did for a little bit. That's the one where you're playing as like little metal fucking dwarves and you go mine stuff and you go do stuff. You go do some sort of stuff. Missions. It's pretty good. Drunk Arc Raiders hits different. I remember I played it drunk last time, but I was too drunk and I lost some of my stuff and I was like, well, that's not very fun. That's not very fun. But yeah, I better go squeeze my dog. Squeeze my dog. Appreciate you guys hanging out at this like secondary stream that is usually off the rails and I either get a lot done or nothing done. It's a real toss-up. I haven't been feeling very artistic. Liver King not feeling very Liver King-like. But I just push through, and some days I have better days. Like when I did Dutch Matrixes, it was pretty quick. I'll come back. I'll get back on the fucking wagon. I'll be back on the wagon at some point. One of these days.
Hello, Primals and Primalandia. Liver King, not feeling so Liver King-like today.
I look Liver King-like, though.
Looks, that's what matters. Charlatan version of me used to say. But what really matters, and what's stronger than time? Principle.
Principles.
So, just wanted to give a quick update that you don't get ready for the storm or war when war presents itself. You're always ready.
Always.
Even when you don't feel good. That's why you still look good. Because if you look good,
and it's not just decorative.
It's not just decorative.
More to the tribe.
More to the tribe.
Yeah, boy. Fist bump pound.
Yeah, boy. Fist bump pound. What do we do?
Lock it down. Lock it down.
King time.
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 Goodbye. Good night. Good night. Sleep time.